Good afternoon, good evening, and good day. Good morning to those of you on the West Coast. Almost made it on time, but I had a wiggly, screamy, sleepy baby on my arm, and she fell asleep about 10 minutes before it was time to come on. And, well, yeah. So, her mom has her now, and we're going to get started. I have some stuff pulled aside, nothing in the notebook, but I've looked at some of the stories, and then I haven't pulled up some of the other sources yet, so we'll do that together. Let me close this tab because I don't need it. Then let's do an audio check on the video stream and see how it sounds. Sounds all right to me. I got Eggsy here. Let's go ahead and say hello in the X chat. And let me adjust the size of these windows so I can see you guys and see the chat and the articles we're discussing. So we're going to chat here. And I didn't have a chance to look at the tablet because all the women in my life have been dominating my schedule. And nothing that was scheduled has been done. So here we are. Let's go on over to. Do I want to? Yeah, that one's one that's interesting, but we're not going to discuss it today because I didn't read the article. And I have a feeling I know what it's going to say, but I don't know what it's going to say. But we will start with our recall segment, just because, well, it's up front, and it's really important that we do them. So let's start with, let's get a little screen share action going, and then we'll start with Chevrolet, and then we'll go halfway around the world. Is I can start halfway or all the way around? Because all the way would be right back where you started, right? So halfway. Anyway, let's do share screen, and then we'll pick the article. This one. And go. Okay, so our friends over at Chevy have a recall on the Equinox, and we're going to talk about it. Let's go over to this presentation. No. This presentation. There we go. A little further over than I used to. Let's see here. We've got over 23,000 Equinox EVs are hit with a recall for this weird reason. It's the same reason that that many have had their EVs recalled. The stupid noisemakers so that they don't have to pay to train the seeing eye dogs correctly. So the sound alert system, the nearly silent ride is one of the best things about driving an EV vehicle. But Chevy's electric EV might be too quiet. Remember, there are plenty of quieter gas cars out there than the noisemakers are requiring us to be. So tells you about their priorities. It's all about the money. That and the massive number of dogs that fail these courses. But that's neither here nor there. So on September 30th, GM issued a safety recall for 2024 Equinox EVs. The recall affects 23,700 Equinox electrics due to a potentially faulty pedestrian alert system. GM said in the letter that the sound system might not make enough noise to alert those around the vehicle when traveling at low speeds, shifting into drive. That's not exactly accurate. It may not be in compliance with the decibel requirements. Let's see. As a result, Equinox EVs may fail to meet the safety standards required by the FMVSS number 141, minimum sound requirements for hybrid and EV vehicles, which is why all the new Toyotas you see running around sound like scratching pavement. It's a terrible, terrible sound. I don't know why they picked the one they did. Uh, After investigation, GM found that the Equinox EVs built between August 8th, 2023 and August 28th, 2024 may have incorrect software installed. See, now if they were updating their vehicle fleet regularly, like once a quarter, once a month, this wouldn't have even had a chance to stay out there. They'd still have to do the recall, but it wouldn't have had a chance to just sit out there. GM may not. GM is not aware of any incidents caused by the recall out of an abundance of caution. Yeah, because again, as the driver, you are to be responsible for not mauling pedestrians. So, of course, there are no incidents to this. However, if you want to keep selling cars in North America, you need to keep up with the regs. So GM is not aware of any incidents caused by the recall, but after a bunch of discussion, they're developing a fix. They're developing they haven't done it already. These cars are over a year old, and you're doing a recall. But and he says because of incorrect software. Yeah, you must remember that the legacy automakers don't make their own software; they farm it out. So this is what you get. I'm not saying they don't make any software, but they don't make the complete software stack. So developing a fix, but said impacted vehicles will require an update to the body control module rather than a total replacement. Of course, if it's incorrect software, they haven't built a car that can't be updated in quite some time, and being part of the body control module tells me they might tell you that you need to come into the dealer for this. Let's see. It should be an OTA, but I doubt it. Owner letters are expected to be mailed out in November 10th of 2025, so about 20 days from now or so. Now, with the GM, letters might actually get there before the recall is done, considering they're developing a fix. This shouldn't be a bring it into the dealer software update, but I have a feeling that's going to be what they say next. It should definitely be an over-the-air software update recall. And anyway, you can contact Chevrolet's customer service number. I wonder if this affects the Honda Prologue or the Cadillac Lyriq or anything else built on this car. I'm going to guess not, but it's interesting. So anyway, you can contact Chevrolet's customer service number at 1-800-222-1020 with any questions. GM's recall number is November 25 2170. So that's November, N is November 2525-1710. You can reach the National Highway Traffic, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or NHTSA safety hotline at 1-888-327-4236, or visit nhtsa.gov website for more information. Although, let me go there real quick. I think this website is not one of the ones that will close during a government shutdown, but let's verify that. Let's open this in a new window. And portions of the Department of Transportation are currently in shutdown furlough due to a lapse in appropriations. Please continue to monitor this page for updates of the DOT's operating status. I was rather afraid there'd be a partisan message at the top of that based on previous messages. Let's see. So it's got that same doofy flag that looks like the U.S. flag but isn't up in the corner. Somebody pointed that out shortly after all the web pages started to get changed. That they're displaying somebody else's flag that looks like ours, but not ours. Unless it's supposed to be an American flag icon, I guess it could be that, but it's definitely not our actual flag. Um, so yeah, you can still go to the website and view the recall that is not impacted by squabbles. Before we get on, let's see. The top comment by Pizza was liked by 5 people. It says, here in Southern California, these annoying noises are so common and frequent that I've noticed nobody ever pays them attention, except the dogs. I can be in reverse with my reversing lights on and making an annoying sound, and people will still just walk behind my car without a care in the world. Again, it's your responsibility not to mow down pedestrians. Uh, they didn't care if they were making like thundering exhaust noises. The closest you could get were the ones that were so annoyingly loud that they scared people when you turned them on. And then they can get you for a different noise ordinance. Instead of not making enough noise, they'll get you for making too much noise. You can't win with these people. And on top of that, not only is it a matter of deaf or blind people navigating the world, you've got all the people with their noses buried in a smartphone or headphones on or distracted by talking to other people, etc., etc. So we could really get rid of this and nobody would notice, except you'd now have more failing dogs. Um, anyway, continuing on. I find that by the time I'm pedestrianing, while I'm walking around the world and not paying enough attention, uh, I don't hear these cars with their noisemakers until they're upon me, or if they're like way off in the distance, being annoying. Like I said, the Toyotas that sound like they are scratching the pavement with some sort of metal. Oh, Purple Side Black Forever says, I feel so alone here in the chat. Let's give them some company. Have I driven the Equinox EV? Drove it a few weeks ago. It was an RS, like the regular SUV. Not particularly good or bad, just a vehicle. That's actually, I think, a good thing because some people they would be fine um, with with going EV, but they're not really into a change. So if it's exactly like what they're used to, except that they can fill it at home, cost them less, safer, et cetera, all the benefits you get from an EV, but without screaming, "I'm different," that might make them feel better. So I think that's a good thing. Might not be for everyone, but I'd love to take a chance to go over and drive one. I did sit in a Bright Drop Zevo 600, put it in gear, but didn't drive it because babies were outside the vehicle. And like I said, finally got to drive the Model Y, not the Juniper. A little behind on my test drives. I'm surprised it was an RS because it was quite slow. But that shouldn't matter in an SUV of this class. I wonder if it was just RS because it's a little sportier than the other one, but perhaps it was just a badge deal. As I've seen Chevy do that before, where they badge up something as an off road or a Z71 or a sport or a super sport, but it really isn't anything special. Or, which is even more fun, they will have two, and one is the looks package, and the other is the performance package. And did you get the looks and performance package, or did you just get the looks package? They really shouldn't do that. Uh, Pretty much what an Equinox is supposed to be. That's good. Agreed. Yeah. Oh, I let the screen turn off on the phone. Like I said, I didn't get a chance to fix or check and see what's up with the tablet to try and fix it to do its thing. I think what I will do is I'm 3D printing the rack mounts. I've switched from threadboards to open grid, and I may redo the mount and make a mount for the tablet similar to this microphone mount, but free and made of plastic. Uh, I did not redo. because I never had one, not on this desk anyway. I 3D printed uh, a project called Deskware, which is based on OpenGrid and oh, I haven't had my medication today. I need to fix that. Based on OpenGrid and Gridfinity, and it's a nice little desk riser. I've ended up making an L. I made 3 sections long, a curve, 90 degrees, and then another section. I like it. I like it because it's got the open grid on the verticals, so I can do cable management or hang stuff off the back of it. And it's got the Gridfinity on top because that's what everybody uses, so I can organize stuff. Right now, I've got my screws and stuff on them, but I'm not going to do that. The reason I have the Gridfinity in my hand is this is the size of the default drawers. So I'm going to put this in the next drawer I make. The first drawer is it's got a bunch of hard drives in it for some reason. So basically, I wanted to get them off my desk, and as soon as I get them in the server, I'll put more useful stuff in there. But I guess that's a bad example because it's full. This one's not so bad. So you get these. You can do bins, or you can do any number of things. You just put a particular bottom on them, and that's the Gridfinity bottom. Or you can do a snap, which is the open grid bottom. So they fit into the grid, and they don't really wobble around. You can use the magnets for more hold. I didn't pick a grid with magnets, but I did pick a bin that could hold magnets. And then you could do any number of things. Like I had, can I reach it? I don't think I could reach it. I have another one that has my iFixit screwdriver set in it. But another example, I've got my screw measuring device here. It gives me depth and thread type, etc. It fits in the grid right there. Anyway, so all of that to say that this will be fun, and because of that, I could probably put the tablet on the open grid one, this one, because it's designed for vertical, and not just vertical, also inverted. So I can put underneath the desk. I can do some more cable management there, and perhaps use it as a sit stand desk again. So to keep the keys out of it, so that Moto and Mako don't injure themselves. I'm also going to print a cable chain, drag chain, so I can keep the cables neat as the desk goes up and down. Pardon me while I take these medications. I thought, since this whole room is wired for water cooling and piped, tubed, since I've got the water cooling going across the whole room, I'm thinking, oh, I've got the covers here too. So these covers, I went ahead and printed them at the size of each of the sections of the desk riser. Normally this is full, but I wanted to be able to get the wires in and out, the cables, at a regular interval. So I'm thinking, print one of these that's big enough to cover up the tubing, and then I can run that around the walls of the room. Then in the empty spaces, I was thinking get like the the photo booth type pictures. I was thinking print some of the family photos in there and just kind of like have like a tiles. Like actually, I could do real tiles because Gig's got that UV printer on the way, and you can UV print straight onto ceramic. So I could do actual tiles. That'll be fun. Anyway, so I have family photos that are about this size. Is the yellow being? Yeah, the yellow's not green. Are you colorblind, camera? My camera is colorblind. Uh, so have little family photos the size of this on little tiles going around the the house. 'Cause then, rather than climb up in the attic and properly run a Ethernet cable to like the living room, I can just hang it on the wall, and then it'll be somebody else's problem whenever we re-rent or sell this place. Obviously, when we build a place, I'll do it correctly, but I don't feel like doing it correctly here. And so I think that would be fun. Obviously, I'm not going to print it in red. I think it'd probably a white or cream or black, something that would actually look nice on the wall. And then that'd be really, I think that'll look really cool because you'll have like we can do like sections like stories, like the kids growing up or some vacation we took. I think that's gonna be a fun project. Anyway, let's keep up with the chat. Drove a pre-refresh Model Y last summer on a demo drive at Tesla. It was still creaky and squeaky. Yeah, that was my impression of the Model Y that they loaned me. It was pre-refresh, and I was like, "This is adequate." I wouldn't switch from my Model X for it, but it's adequate. Now I'm sure the Juniper is much nicer, but that's not what I was driving. Let's see. Drove the Juniper Model Y 2 weeks ago, and it was amazing. All the previous faults with the squeaks and creaks being uncomfortable are gone. Excellent. Uh, I'm curious what that's going to look like on the new um, base model. I think it'll still be quite competent, but I do expect it'll be like louder for like road noise. And according to Kyle and Alyssa, it's a little bouncier in the back, somewhere in between the Juniper and the old one. So, but I didn't ride in the back, so it didn't bother me. But if this robotaxi thing takes off, I could be in the back of many of them. So yes, I do want it to be done correctly, selfishly, of course. Oh yes. So back to the recall. Recall effects looks like all of them. Oh no, sorry, they're not going on that. They're going on something else entirely. Being reversing lights on, making annoying sound. Maybe it'll save a blind person one day, so I understand the general reasoning behind the mode noise. Um, in theory, yes, but again, the reason that the lobby for the blind and whatever they call themselves, it was the lobby for the seeing eye dog trainers. They wanted to make sure they didn't have to make a new test that their dogs would fail, because their dogs fail enough of their tests, so that's a surprisingly low amount of them that pass. And then to add another battery to it means more failures. But it means that you have less incidents where, say, the PWS fails, the pedestrian warning system, or they come across one of those gas cars that's quieter than an EV because of the noise system. The dog won't make a terrible mistake in such a situation. Again, it's on the driver not to run over the pedestrian or the dog, but that's where we are with that. Let's see. After introducing the 2025 model year last year, starting at under 35, Chevy Equinox sales have surged. I just wish the noise would only sound off when a sensor senses something within the speed's hitting range. What? Something AI might actually be useful for someday. I think I know what you're saying. The issue is the safety of the blind and legally blind. That's what they tell us. If your car doesn't make a sound while moving, they won't notice it. That's what they tell us. The low rolling resistance tires and silent drive motors make modern EVs very hard for the blind to notice. And the sighted. Yes, I remember when the Model S first came out. The reason I could tell one was sneaking up on me was I would hear the gravel in the tires, crunching along the asphalt. So the newer ones were hard to tell because they hadn't run over any gravel yet. Let's see. If you really hate the OEM tone generator, then replace it with your own music or a set of military spec tires. Not sure what mil spec tires would do for the noise and the compliance of the OEM, as well as I don't see what the OEM tone generator is going to do. You can just unplug the any of them out there or clip the speakers, wires to the speakers. However, if you do that, because I'm not advising that you do that, because technically it's a safety piece of equipment. If you do that and you accidentally bump a pedestrian and get taken to court, they'll say that you willfully endangered them rather than just that a vehicle customizer had stopped their car from being noisy. So that's why I've always been saying that you can turn it off, but should not. We're a very litigious country. Let's see. Yep. Safety theater. I like it. Definitely recall I would not do. Yeah, that's the other thing. If that was all that was in there, I just wouldn't bother with it. I hate the whining noise. I always thought that the benefits of the first Teslas was the silence on my low-speed street. I agree. Nothing more irritating than when I can hear my neighbor from 2 blocks away with their nasty Toyota RAV4 hybrid. Stupid thing sounds like having a bad water pump for the screeching. Okay, so I'm not the only one who really has a dislike for the Toyota sound. Like I said, my Prius, when I had it, it was well before this charade, and it was silent when it was in EV mode. And the new ones, yeah, the bad water pump screeching is another tone. They don't seem to have just one tone. Most of them seem to be that metal on concrete, just metal on asphalt, just terrible. But some of them sound like they're broken. One of the things I loved about my 2023 Bolt was how quiet it was under all circumstances. I got the least 2024 ID4 and that annoying sound, but not as bad as the neighbor's RAV4. The RAV4 and some of the newer Prius, and there was another one that just really just got me. I was like, oh, was it the van? It might have been the van, the Sienna. So let's see. Traded a Bolt on the Equinox. The first thing I did was go in and turn off every fake sound I could. It was still making more noise than I preferred. Now that I sold off that lease and got a nice 2017 Bolt EV. Oh, he went back before it was required. Nice. Well, at least then I'm not driving the VW or hearing my neighbor coming and going. All right, so yeah, so it was 2019 was the requirement, but cars that were engineered before then got a weird rolling pass, and that's why. If your neighbor really is driving around the neighborhood at under 20 miles an hour, it sounds like a personal problem. Do you want the neighbor speeding through the neighborhood? It might not be safe to drive above 20 miles an hour. Sorry, it's not a personal problem that I don't like loud noises where there don't need to be. My neighborhood streets are set up where you need to pull into the complex under 20 miles an hour, then drive less than 20 miles an hour. Sorry, drive less than 200 feet and a speed bump under 20 miles an hour. And then we live right where there's a 90-degree turn under 20 miles an hour. There's another 90-degree turn under 20 miles an hour. Their house is the third on the right, so still under 20 miles an hour. So from the time they pull into the complex, it's all under 20 miles an hour until they park. So before you say things that make you look, well, let's just say silly, maybe you should think not everyone lives on a long street with higher speeds. I was thinking one of them gated neighborhoods with like a 15 mile an hour speed limit. And like a chicane and trash cans and stuff. So interesting. A path that includes multiple 90-degree turns and speed bumps suggests some sort of environment that absolutely demands pedestrian alerts for safety. or an alert driver, even if some people find it annoying. And like even if it actually did anything, the sound doesn't have to be annoying. The sound can be pleasant, as we've seen with many other manufacturers. Toyota, like I said, and like this guy said, chose some of the worst sounds out there. The highest minimum noise level mandated by the FMVSS standards is 54 decibels, which is barely even normal conversational level. Mm, yeah, it's the minimum. Not everybody does the minimum. Like if we had to make this thing make noise, we're gonna brand it. Uh, I've a hard time taking seriously that is a credible source of noise pollution. If it sounds broken and is just crawling through your neighborhood, that is noise pollution. Seems to me you just like to argue with anything I say. Say what you will, there's zero way on earth that I should be able to hear that crappy Toyota going 2 blocks away. So do me a favor, and if you don't like me or the comments, leave. I feel that okay. I like the general sentiment of what you're going for. Uh, for dumb reason, the noisemakers shouldn't exist. The fact that people focus on the impact of all things is no more concern trolling when compared to the millions who would die from fossil fuel pollution. Yet we set no regulation on banning that. Hmm. If you succeed in banning blind people, then no, just don't run them over. Goodness. Uh, Blind people have nothing to do with this because if they did, then the regulation would apply to all cars. Yes, somebody who gets it. Because a loud world covers up more noise that the blind people might otherwise use to distinguish where vehicles come from, such as this goal would be achieved with greater goals of reducing deaths from noise and air pollution by quieting the world rather than making it louder. Pedestrians also have nothing to do with this, as there are far more effective regulations available, and pedestrian deaths have only gone up to an all-time high since this regulation was advanced. This is true. This is so true. Because what actually kills pedestrians is not EVs, and in fact, the data that the government used to advance this regulation came from before EVs even existed. It's all the things that I pointed out in this article. Feel free to read it. Oh, yes. Uh, Agreed. So Jameson linked his own article earlier? Yeah, he did. Okay, cool. I didn't even catch that was the author there. The laws were literally passed because of research funded by the National Federation of the Blind, lobbying by the American Council of the Blind, paid for by the Seeing Eye Dog trainers. Statistically and empirically, tests both show that the significant risk from silent vehicles, yes, size and weight also are a significant factor in pedestrian deaths. You know what's heavy? Vehicles with thousands of pounds of batteries in them. Not any more heavy than any other car, as we've seen with the Model 3 Performance versus the BMW M3. Mm, the analysis, which I linked in my post, acknowledges exactly what I said. The non-electric newer vehicles are quieter too, and yet the regulation does not apply to them. Which, yeah, exactly, because it's bull crap. Uh, which does not apply means not all lobbyists are bad, but some lobbyists are misguided, and other lobbyists are evil. I'm not saying that the blind lobby was evil. I'm saying they were misguided in the application of this because it didn't work. Let's see. Which means the concern isn't safety. Yeah, exactly. But in adding another dumb hoop for EVs to jump through, and again, the analysis does not include EVs, only hybrids. But the regulation applies to EVs despite them being left out of the analysis. Also, statistical data and empirical tests both show that significant risk from the noise. Yeah, which causes many deaths causes many thousands of premature deaths per year. And again, covered in its post. My two EVs, 2,800 pounds each. Oh no, sorry. My EV's 2,800 pounds. So his EV is 2,800 pounds. How much does your car weigh? If it's heavier than that, then I trust you're adding a noisemaker to do it now. uh, he had one more comeback. This still doesn't mean the law exists for dumb reasons. Yes, it does exist for dumb reasons. The stated reason is admirable, but it's a lie, because if it did, then the Hyundai Sonata would have to comply with the Prius and the Teslas. So no, uh, or that it wasn't passed with the intent of yeah. The title is admirable. It doesn't mean just means it doesn't go far enough. No, that's not what it means. Your link to a study about deaths linked to chronic exposures to high volume noise remains irrelevant to incident exposure to low volume noise as you first posted it. Yeah, but you're not running across just one car in a city. No. The weight of your specific vehicle is a question of, well, you're the one who brought it up. You said that thousands of pounds of batteries, and his whole car isn't thousands of pounds. Question whether larger vehicles are more dangerous is entirely tangential. No, it's not. You brought it up. Electric vehicles are heavier than their ICE counterparts. No, they're not. No, they are not. So having them be silent just compounds the risk. Yes, if you pass a law about EVs based on data from cars that are not EVs, that law exists for some reason. Yeah. Noise killing people is bad. Making more noise, which kills more people, instead of less noise that kills less people, is bad. The Model 3 and BMW, same one I used. Model 3 and BMW M3 weigh the same amount. EVs are larger because of either A, bad engineering, B, consumers buying gigantic cars, which, as stated in the post, should be regulated, which again is not the same as regulating EVs, but regulating large cars. I'm not going to type the same thing again. And it looks like they're done. Modern Marbles fan says, if it's a risk, then it shouldn't just be EVs. Yes, thank you. Uh, all vehicles with quiet operations, such as hybrids, well, hybrids do now. Some ultra luxury ICEs. Yeah, can you imagine? Some blind guy gets mauled by a Rolls Royce because it didn't have a noisemaker, and you know that they would be sales on whatever the cutoff year is. But when they finally fix the problem, it would just be through the roof. This one doesn't make the stupid noise. The point is the regulation should focus on sound level, not type of vehicle. Mm-hmm. Plenty of EV generates enough noise with tires. In fact, my upgraded performance tires are loud enough that people can hear it coming from 2 blocks away. Yeah, it does apply to hybrids now. I don't know that it did at first. Or what it might have been was those hybrids were engineered before 2019, so they had that weird rolling phase in. The U.S. rule requires the artificial noise generation up to about 18 miles, actually 19 miles an hour. After that point, tire and or wind noise is considered to be significant alone. They do apply to hybrids, and even luxury vehicles are nowhere near as silent as fully electric. They are quieter than the electrics with the stupid sound system. Then you haven't driven one of those silky quiet V8s from Lexus at idle speed. The level of noise inside the cabin is utterly irrelevant. Yeah, but we're talking about the outside of the car, fella. I am talking about outside. Those V8s have a balancer, liquid engine mount, ultra quiet muffler. At idle, they are absolutely quiet. Idle is enough to move around a parking lot without making noise at all. Yeah, because automatic transmissions have creep. All right, let's go back to the comments real quick, because I have sending messages not supported, but Facebook broke my daggum thing again. I assume it's Facebook. It could be X. Kick. I didn't know I could stream to Kick and LinkedIn. So it's either LinkedIn or Facebook. Those are usually the ones that break my chat. And I've feature requested numerous times that they, instead of breaking my chat, they just warn me that I can't chat to Facebook or LinkedIn. I will make that request again because, like I said, they broke the Test Life theme. So I will. I'll put that in there too. I drove a new previous. Oh, okay, yeah, I am caught up on the chat. Cool. It just looks different. And let's see. I think I'm almost done railing against pedestrian noise makers. One more reply. All right. This is why everyone needs OTA software updates. Oh, that too. Uh, I certainly wouldn't take my vehicle in for a recall at all. It depends on the recall. I would definitely go in for many recalls, but you would need to already have me there for this one, and uh, I'm a bit of a jerk sometimes. If I wasn't in for software, you're not plugging in any computers to my car. Um, Not when I've got a noisemaker recall I'm trying to avoid. The myth of the nearly silent ride from EVs needs to die. They are certainly quieter on the exterior at low speeds, hence they need to generate sound for safety. But inside, the vast majority of sound from any car is the tire noise, which they have an inherent advantage on, perhaps even disadvantage on tire noise due to the added weights. Well, again, with the weight stuff. Low speeds, the louder the sound system might make enough noise to alert this. Ice are also quiet at low speeds. Exactly. All right, let's go on because I've, like I said, beat this horse to death. Let's go to the next recall. So the next recall is one that you might not see around your local neighborhood, depending on where you are. But we've got folks around the world watching this, so here we go. BYD has issued a recall impacting over 115,000 EVs and plug-in hybrid vehicles. So we're talking the more technically advanced new energy vehicles here. Why technically advanced? Because, well, a regular hybrid can be a new energy vehicle too, and a regular hybrid doesn't have a plug on it. Chinese EV giant has issued 2 separate recalls following an investigation in its home market. With over 115,000 electric and plug-in hybrid vehicles impacted, this is BYD's largest recall yet. BYD has issued a record recall affecting EVs and PHEVs. They filed a recall plan with the State Administration for Market Regulation on Friday, October 17th, citing a design and battery component defects. This can't be good. The filing includes 2 separate recalls affecting more than 115,000 Tang plug-in hybrid PHEVs and Yuang Pro electric vehicles. Effective immediately, the first incidents, 44,535 Tang series models produced between March 28th of 2015 and July 28th of 2017. BYD said that the recall is due to component design issues, which can cause the drive motor controller to malfunction. In extreme cases, fry the circuit board. Yeah, that's not helpful. The second recall included 71,248 Yang Pro EV models produced between February 6th, 2021 and August 5th, 2022. Due to manufacturing issues, some vehicles may have insufficient sealing, which can allow water to enter the battery. Also not good. Especially environmental water tends to have minerals in it, like salt or mud. I know mud's not a mineral, but play along. BYD said that it will fix the issue at the dealership. This doesn't sound like it is a software issue, so yeah, you need to bring it in. They will issue the fix at the dealership using special sealant to reinforce the battery housing of recalled new One Pro models free of charge. The One Pro has been replaced by the compact One Up, which has which went on sale in China in February 2024. It sits below the One Plus, sold as the Atto 3 overseas. So older Attos may also be subject to this because this is just the Chinese recall, but they didn't just sell it in China. The recall follows an investigation by the Chinese State Administration for Market Regulation. BYD issued several major recalls in the past, including nearly 100,000 Dolphin and One Plus EVs last September, but this is the automaker's latest to date. BYD also recalled 6,843 plug-in hybrid SUVs sold under the Fangcheng Bao brand in January. And BYD is Explosive sales growth has propelled it past Volkswagen to become the best-selling automaker in China last year. Although aggressive price cuts helped BYD's run, they sparked a price war in China, prompting the company to look to overseas markets like Europe and Southeast Asia to sustain their growth. In the first 9 months of 2025, nearly 9 million battery electric EVs and plug-in hybrids were sold in China, solidifying it as the world's largest EV market. We're going to talk about another large EV market in a moment. Meanwhile, BYD's monthly sales fell in September for the first time since February 2024, as smaller domestic rivals like Geely, Xiaomi, Xpeng, and them gained market share. Mhm. And of course, wasn't mentioned is that nations around the world started tariffing the heck out of Chinese EVs, thinking they'd protect their local markets. And well, that also tends to put a damper on sales for now. Eventually, because their cars are cheaper without the tariff or with the tariffs than the domestics are, that will change. I'll be the first to admit, like many others, I've used recalls to bash on brands, but when you really look at it, all brands have them. They're actually a good thing to have rather than just allowing a vehicle to go unchecked or doing that calculus of we're gonna have this many problems, this many deaths, cost this much, so we'll let it ride. Uh, in many cases, a person will get a vehicle repaired for free, helping keep their vehicle like new for a longer period of time. I don't know about like new, depending on what's being recalled. When we compare to many years ago, before recalls, it's nice to know someone is watching over us, helping keep us more safe. And on the flip side, a manufacturer who has too many recalls may indicate that they are not doing enough R&D or Q&A. um, may not be using the best quality products and materials, so there needs to be a happy medium. But recalls in general are not a bad thing. Agreed. FYI, BYD has over 100,000 employees in R&D. That's a lot of employees in R&D alone. Wow. But they are a giant company. I'm sure they do with as many vehicles as they sell and as big as they are, they would need that many. Just FYI, I wasn't referring to BYD isn't doing enough R&D. I'm saying that in general. That's how I took it. If anything, it should look good to the West that BYD will do recalls for many years. Do recall for many years. Japanese automakers would have to be forced by regulators and still not admit there was a problem. 115,000 affected is an average Ford recall. I'll go so far as to say that we did talk very recently, a few months ago, about Toyota hiding some recalls on their Daihatsu and a couple others. Um, Forgeries and so on and so forth. So yeah, this person does have a point about the Japanese recalls. Moving on. Oh, that'll be fun. We'll talk about it later. This one I was reading, but we're not going to actually read the article and discuss. We're going to just look at the title and be mad and move on. So the $7,500 EV tax credit is gone, but each gas car still gets 20,000 plus in subsidies, some direct, some indirect, and that fella in charge of DOT who wants to add hundreds of dollars of federal tax on top of our whatever our local municipalities charge for our existing EVs, he can go pound sand because as much as he was talking about we shouldn't get a subsidy, he comes from he's not. They called him an oil stooge. He was an oil CEO, so he's not to be trusted on this. Not just in the matter of he may be biased. He is and blatantly. Ugh. Anyway, moving on. Like I said, I just wanted to put that out there and be mad and move on. Let's look at this one. Is much better news. Solar has led the EU energy generation as renewables hit 54%. So As much as people tell you, oh, the wind doesn't always blow and the sun doesn't always shine, and as much as Don Quixote hates a windmill, um, good on you, EU. 54% renewables, led by solar. Don't let anybody tell you it can't be done. More than 500,000 of the EU's electricity. Sorry, what? More than half of the EU's electricity rate came from renewables in the second quarter of 2025, and solar is leading from the front. According to new data from Eurostat, renewable energy sources generated 54% of the EU's net electricity in Q2, up from 52.7% year over year. The growth came mainly from solar, which produced 122,317 gigawatt hours, or nearly 20% of the electricity generation mix. That is strong. And I'm guessing that that's just direct solar, not battery not solar into a battery or into pumped hydro or anything like that. Because from what we saw of the numbers over the past few years, uh, it should be higher than that if they were counting those as solar. June 2025 was a milestone month. Solar became the EU's single largest electricity source for the first time ever. It supplied 22% of all power that month, edging out nuclear at 21.6%, wind at 15.8%. I don't know that nuke is considered renewable, but it is zero carbon emissions. Wind at 15.8%, hydro at 14.1%, and methane at 13.8%. Methane's going down, baby. But of course, when your methane comes from Russia and, well, you've got people hounding you not to get the Russian stuff, it only makes sense to reduce it. Some countries are already at nearly 100% renewable. Denmark led with an impressive 94.7% of renewables in net electricity generated, followed by Latvia at 93.4%, Austria at 91.8%, Croatia at 89.5%, Portugal at 85.6%, and all at the other end of the spectrum, we've got Slovakia at just 19.9%, Malta at just 21.2%, and Czech Republic sitting at a low 22.1%. They're lagging behind. You can do better. You can do better, folks. Let's see. In total, 15 EU countries saw their share of renewable generation rise year over year. Luxembourg got a 13.5% jump. Belgium 90 plus 9.1 pp. So percentage points. Posted the most significant gains, driven largely by solar growth. Across the EU, solar made up 36.8% of renewable generation. There you go. Followed by wind at 29.5%, hydro at 26%, biomass at 7.3%, geothermal at 0.4%. You would think the geothermal would be higher, but I guess it's still expensive to develop, and there's danger with it. Biomass, you'd like to see that be higher since we're still generating it and generating the material just from being around, doing what we do. But wind and hydro, that's good. So the top comment by Van Groep. The economic impact of countries dropping their fossil fuel imports by double-digit percentages year on year is going to be enormous over the next 10 years. There will be countries that will fully benefit from this and countries that will continue to import many billions worth of oil, coal, and gas. That will be interesting to see play out. I think that Southern Europe is going to be doing well economically, more manufacturing, more exports, more wealth, less fossil fuel imports. A lot of investments to those countries are making in renewables are going to have a nice return on investment. On top of this, you no longer have to deal with oil magnates dealing in their wars or if you have national health care and you're paying for people, you don't have to pay as much for people getting lung cancers and other cancers from the residuals of fossil fuels, or at least fossil combustion fuels, I should say, because you've got fossil hydrogen and others like that. But it means that they are no longer pawns in the global scheme of things because they don't need us for energy. Us being anyone else, they can just keep it within. They just do their thing. They can manufacture. They can grow their crops. They don't need to join the hubbub to ensure that there's energy coming into their country. It's smart. Africa is starting to see growth in solar energy. Yeah, Africa should have already been solar. They are. They're in a great place for it. Let's just say, they've got. What is the people who like to compare the world to games? They say they got a good starting block, or they have an awesome spawn point. Let's say that. Yes. So being near the equator, having lots of sun, Africa should already have been solar. The problem is cost. But when you look at it, solar plus battery is now possible and is now much more affordable than it has been at the nation level. You can do it. The personal level, still pretty expensive. Not as much as it was just years ago, but still pretty expensive. Anyway, Africa's starting to see growth in the solar energy industry. In solar energy, they have the advantage of not having fossil fuel infrastructure. That's true too. There wasn't much of that, so they're already reaping the economical and ecological benefits. So very similar to how they got the leg up on 5G, etc., 4G, to just make their networks appear overnight versus having to restring a bunch of telegraph wire into higher quality cables. The global south is going to leapfrog a lot of fossil infrastructure and just go straight to renewables, like the way they leapfrogged wired. Same one I just said. Wired telephones went straight to cellular phones. A good example of that is look at American Samoa and their Tesla energy swap. They stopped burning a bunch of diesel and bunker oil and went straight to solar and battery. I mean, not to say that they don't have the generators anymore. They still have them for backup, but they're not running every day, all day anymore. Charge my watch while we're running on solar. And speaking of running on solar, let me open this, go over here, and make sure that the house is running on solar. I mean, we're running on solar, but using the battery before it fills up. We're at 91% battery. Let's get off of that. Get onto the battery. Again, because the battery system I've got here is not properly integrated. It'll take over in the case of a power failure, but it's not. There's no Powerball. That's a huge amount of off-grid solar in Africa. Yeah, there is. There could be more. The fossil fuel infrastructure, there is fossil fuel infrastructure in Africa, just not to the extent of some other countries. That's 65 million light vehicles in Africa, and of course, a horde of medium heavy duty. Yeah, I mean, that's not to say there's none, but they're not as ingrained as other nations. Anyway, moving on, because the point was, congrats to the EU. This one I thought was kind of interesting. Good brand, good branding opportunity. You're charging electric batteries. Why not do it with Duracell? Yeah. Duracell's first ever EV market will be in the UK. That's all I have to say about that. I was amused, and there it is. This one I'm going to skip because it's about Elon's pay package, and it was not what we're discussing. This one, I like the picture. I didn't read the article. Let's take a look at it. ProElectric pairs solar and battery storage for big off-grid power. There's a video. The UK-based Pro Electric helps to make the thrum of diesel generators a thing of the past. Yeah, that looks like my uncle's generator at the inn there. They got to power all of the cottages and everything. They unfortunately can't go solar because of historical society stuff. And the parking lot is rather small, so they'd have to build like an awning to put solar on that. And again, historical society. So you'd have to build an awning for parking and hide it and make it look old, and then hide the solar panels and keep the trees out of the way. Because one, they're old growth trees. You don't really want to take them down because they're beautiful. And again, historical society, all that. So not every site works for it. I get that. And they still got those giant windmills that are off. So they'll be fine if they just turn that on. Not on site, but just for their municipality. The ProCharger is a rugged, compact, skid-mounted generator that combines 12 high-wattage solar panels with a massive battery to deliver up to 45 kilovolt amps of power where it's needed. Interesting. So you can do. It doesn't specify the solar panels. So that means they're ready to upgrade at any point that they want. Maybe not by the customer, but as a product. Packing a massive, but again, because this is not, they could drop this in a parking spot or on the current pad, except the current pad's under a tree, and not have to worry about the whims of the HOA, basically, the historical society, blah blah blah. I wonder if they could put that in the dog patty. If they had a dog run, it would be expensive for cabling, but it's also not covered in trees. There was just like an area where the dog could just go play for a minute. Interesting. Anyway, a massive 120 kilowatt hour lithium ion battery pack designed with everything it needs to seamlessly integrate and drastically reduce the runtime of traditional diesel gensets. The ProElectric ProCharge battery energy storage system hopes to become the backbone of modern, cleaner job sites. Okay, so job sites. That's a very good use for them. The ProElectric sales pitch isn't just about replacing one power source with another. It's about creating smarter hybrid ecosystem that works in tandem with existing diesel generators. Yeah, like I said, at the hospitals and stuff, if you put in giant battery packs, you don't have to run the generators as much. You can run them just when you have an extended outage and for their monthly test cycles, etc. Done right, the ProElectric integrations means that sites can achieve significant fuel and emissions reductions up to 75%, according to the company's website, without compromising on power reliability or requiring a complete overhaul of the existing energy infrastructure. Highlander, good to see you. I'm here. Can I get a mic check, please? Jump in again. I didn't push the button correctly. Let me do this. Oh, they've changed the requirements. Let's go here. And there you are. Send. And go back. I just got off the phone with Brian, coordinating the Chattanooga event and upcoming surprises, which I'm keeping close to my vest. Yeah. That'll be fun. Could talk about subsidies. Yeah. Subsidies would be great. It would be great, but we've got an interesting time ahead of us on various subsidies, things that need not be subsidized. Same oil's ex-oil CEO called Stooge. He was talking about why electric shouldn't be subsidized because if it can't last after 30 years, blah blah blah. Well, if your industry can't be running after 200 years, perhaps we should stop subsidizing it to the tune of billions of dollars per year. Just saying. So we can try this video, see what happens, because it looks like a manufacturer's thing, but I bet you there's music. Yep, just drop it in by crane. It's on skids though. Can you just forklift it in? You just stash them in the skids for later, the lifting points. All right. Yeah, we got your batteries and your inverters, and there's the batteries, the inverters and stuff on the other side there. Okay. More batteries and more electronics. Good, good. More batteries. Oh my goodness. It's like it's full of batteries. And then you've got your power output. And probably input too. I bet you can charge it from the grid. And lots of solar. Look at that. Good on them. They point to a pilot project. That's a nice typo. Oh, my typer, my what do you call it? The thing is, I was being stupid. The input. There we go. There we go. The pilot project. Future Hustler. Well, welcome, Brian. 4 minutes in behind playing catch up at 15.5x. Yeah, I do have a lot of blank space in my shows. I could cut out on making them into VODs. I need more time of the day. I have that AI thing, but I don't ever remember to use it. I'll have to use it while I've still got the subscription going. All right, so yeah, that's a really cool device right there. I like it. Neat idea. It would move the hinge point to the center and add a second set of hydraulic arms so it could follow the sun up one side and down the other. That's a good point. I'm making a guess that the added cost of hydraulic setup would be offset by the increased power gain. Maybe, but also I'm imagining that since it only has one pivot, that and it's portable, that they would expect you to drop it facing south. Although we've seen that east-west setup, if you have equal panels facing east and equal panels facing west, you can actually slightly eke out over a south-facing system. But if you have a budget or space requirement, south is going to get you the best bang for your buck. And if you have another space requirement like this, then the guy's not wrong. Having a full-on tracker is even better. But the maintenance that goes in with the tracker and other considerations mean that in an application where that is not a concern, it's cheaper to currently just get more panels than it is to put in a automatic tracker. Looking at but that's also why you see trackers on so many power company sites. It's because they can't just go get more land. The land they have is fixed. And that's why you see them getting rid of perfectly good solar panels as the new ones come out, so they can maximize the output per site, and that's why they do it. Hello, Highlander.
Mic check. Oh, okay. Mic check. Good.
Yeah.
If you're willing, I'm up. Yep, there you go.
Yeah. So let's see the solar good concept.
If I could interrupt for 1 second.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. Hope you and the baby girls, our junior moderators, are fine.
They're doing great. Yeah.
Today's Ice Cream Sunday, is it not?
Did they have ice cream today? They got some toys from Facebook Marketplace, so there's that.
Yeah, you and mommies.
Yeah.
Spoil the little girls. But you always got to check in, you know.
Absolutely.
Just got off the phone with Brian White, of all people, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And since you're going to be there, right, and it
the
sounds
plan.
like you're bringing the whole tribe,
Yeah.
the whole clan. Are you bringing everybody, including our moderators?
That's the plan.
Okay, so I'm known for simple little gifts, but the kids love them, and I got my own daughter, so
Yeah.
that's a good thing. So okay, so here's my idea. It's if you're going to be there, and I'm going to be there, and Brian White's going to be there, and it was on your show. He said it's too small, and I said I'll pay for it.
Mhm.
I looked it all up. I'm going to pay for half his trip.
Oh,
No
cool.
worries, no, absolutely no worries. Trust me, no worries. And so it's going to be you, me. So who's missing on the East Coast? Mark.
Yeah, Mark is East
So
Coast.
maybe you can reach out to him because I can't find him on X.
Yeah.
I know his channel. You have direct access to him. So propose this idea to him. He's driving from Kitchener to Toledo. That's about 3-4 hours. Not a bad drive.
Right.
Then he can park his car, whether it's a Tesla or not. And there's a caregiver. I live in an 8-unit apartment,
Mhm.
and a caregiver lives here. So they're used to Teslas, and everybody, it's like, leave that car alone at all costs because that's a care. So parking, no problem. Then Mark, I don't need his gas money, but quite frankly, I think it was about 6 hours from Toledo to Chattanooga. I can't remember.
Mhm.
No gas money. Please put this forward to Mark. Just somebody who's willing to drive a car, like half the trip. And then if he wants, we can double up, get a double room, whatever, in the hotel split. I already bought my tickets and all that stuff. I got
Yeah.
everything booked but the hotel room because I wanted to wait to see if Mark wanted to go in on that type of deal
Maybe.
situation.
Yeah. But
Does that sound okay? I mean,
he's got the
makes
Model
sense?
3 and it supercharges, so I don't see. Yeah, if you can make it, I don't see why he
And I
wouldn't.
live right down the road from Myers. In fact, more than one prominent people off of our ex Twitter space called My Tesla and Friends or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
My Tesla.
His,
Whatever, yeah.
He's the one who operates the Tesla Life Show X account, so he'll see it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but I'll tell you what happened, to be honest with you. And I know this is recorded. I got into a room that was a moderator's room.
Uh-huh.
I let them have it.
Oh.
And I was not short on the Guinness and the amount of swear words. I don't do that in your room because the baby girls are there. But
so did they retaliate?
No, I upset more than a few of the moderators who
Gotcha.
run X/Twitter. So I'm having glitches, brother.
Well, that'll certainly do it.
Yes, sir. That will do it. And I know who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you spend a year and a half in bed or in your garage smoking and drinking, whatever, I couldn't move around.
Mm-hmm.
And all you do is YouTube, you get to know all the players, whether you like it or not.
So Brian's asking in the chat, he's asking, why would we subsidize gas if they're just going to burn it? That's another good point.
Yeah.
And the answer is
to me,
profits.
Yes.
It's the only answer.
Well, here's the dichotomy.
Mm.
It's, those of us in the community know, and I mean broadly, the electrical field, not just EV owners, but I'm also a factory automation electrician. You already know all this, but some people might listen to this later and not know. Electric vehicles are far more efficient. They just are. It's a better, safer vehicle, and the cost is dropping radically. I just went to, here's how thrifty I am. Thank God Grandpa was born in Scotland, and we're very thrifty, but we're also very generous with our money. Point being, so my own bank, Huntington Bank in Toledo, wanted to charge me $6 for a cashier's check/money order. I'm like, what?
Yeah, mine still does it for free.
$6?
Yeah.
So, well, my credit union is Wright Patterson out of Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah,
Number
that's what I meant.
one
My credit union
rated.
does it for free. My bank charges.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm so used to my Dayton Wright Patterson military credit union doing everything for free. And I'll look at my statements. I monitor them like not morning. Yeah, I monitor it once a day, for fraud and all that.
Yeah.
And every now and then there will be $8, $10 pops up for our dividends.
Oh, nice.
I don't pay money. Toledo's so corrupt, dude. It's like, so I save up all my coins and I put them in the little spaghetti jar. When you buy that Parmesan cheese,
Yeah.
it comes in that plastic bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I put all my coins in there and then I take it in. They charge me $4 freaking to deposit my own freaking money.
Yeah. My credit union, they used to have a machine in the lobby that you could just use for free. I don't know what they do now.
Yeah. Well, but Right Pat, number 1 in Ohio, number 10 in the nation. You can look it up later, and everybody afterwards, they can look it up. Number 10 in the nation. But I just joined the number 1 best credit union in the United States.
Which is?
Navy Federal Credit Union.
I like them. I like them a lot. Not everybody qualifies, but if you do qualify, they're a good choice.
Well, since I'm a former nuclear submariner, I'm pretty sure. Although I do have to send them a copy of my DD-214.
Mm-hmm.
So that impressed me. They really do their due diligence on everything.
Yeah.
That impressed me.
If you do any contracting as well, you might not have to go back to your historical records, or if you only worked for and didn't serve, not in your case, but other people listening, you may still qualify. It's worth looking at.
Yeah,
how you can get in
that's
there.
a good point.
Yeah.
You may still qualify, but they are highly, they're conservative and extremely respected. And my t-shirt business, and I'm going to be leaning heavily on everybody I know, including you, every YouTuber I've ever. And something's going on YouTube, Casey, since you're in the biz. 2 months ago, maybe, something really switched because now it's like, I hate to use the word, they're like screwing you guys over because something changed.
Yeah, they changed a lot.
Because there's YouTube channels who I was devoted to, say a year ago, but I had to really pare back. And now that I'm back to work, I only have a very select few that I do.
Yeah.
Time's short and precious. And they're all contacting me because they want people to come back. Something happened. I don't know what happened, but something in the YouTube industry happened a month or two ago.
Yeah.
Am I right or wrong?
You're right. We're not entirely sure what happened, but everybody was affected. When Linus Tech Tips consulted with their rep, because they're big enough to have an actual human that they can talk to, the rep said that the official line is "get good." And like I said last time, they have a Ruby play button, and you tell them "get good." The Ruby's beyond the gold plaque.
Yeah, I mean, who can make sense of this? And for you, correct me if I'm wrong, young man. I'm old. I get away with a lot of stuff. I love it when Sandy Monroe said that. I'm old. I get away with stuff.
Yeah.
By the way, I do actually have the boss's number, which is not Sandy Monroe.
Mm-hmm.
It's Sue Atkins Monroe.
Right.
I got her private cell phone number.
Okay.
From the event, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so looking forward to meeting you and the clan. And now that I know that young moderators, I'll figure out something to get the girls.
Okay.
And when you're at that age, it really doesn't take much.
It doesn't take
much. It really
much.
doesn't.
Yeah. Like a box of crayons.
Yeah.
Be happy. But
So
nothing box of crayons are good in a car, but it doesn't take much.
No, I won't go over the top, but it'll just be something. And I'm known for it, and I like it.
They'll be all right. Like if you have to see a balloon or something.
My goodness, I'm co-host. Back to the topic. What are we talking about?
So Brian says that
I don't know.
Brian says that don't pay them to count your coins. Go to the Walmart self-checkout and just dump them in the machine. That's a good idea. Because then you don't have anybody complaining about it, and you also don't have to worry about.
What
I like that idea, and it's a pretty fast counter too. What you heard?
Well, here's the thing. So we won't get into too personal details, but we all know I've lived for last year on a very limited budget
Right.
and modest means, to say the least. Yeah. So I'm going to, so I was getting my income off a Visa debit card.
Oh, cool.
And then when you go to get your cash, it was plasma money, I'll be honest.
Oh.
Hey, we all got to live.
You got to do what you got to do.
So, and that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
But they're charging me $3.75 out of the $50 I'm getting for my plasma.
Why?
Way just proportions alone. I can do the math in my head.
Yeah.
So somebody, I wear the kilt all the time. There's my thing. That's not a joke. Blah blah blah. So what you do is you go to Walmart, you buy $1 or less item, buy any item, and then it says, "Do you want cash back?"
Oh, okay.
So suddenly you use your whatever debit or credit card for free, and it'll give you in denominations of 20, you get your money.
Yeah, not bad.
Plus, can I make a shameless plug?
What you got?
For people who find themselves in distressed situations, maybe for a night or 2 nights, or maybe a little longer, Walmart has this policy of nighttime. Basically, you pull in your van, your vehicle, whatever it is, you're allowed to stay there safe and secure overnight.
Yeah.
Consider it your campground overnight, and the police will watch you. They will not arrest you. And for all the bad mouthing that Walmart gets, it is a sanctuary.
Yeah. The one thing to look out for with that one, though, is some of them are in jurisdictions where the city or town or the
like
developer,
Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Yeah, where they've barred it there. So you do have to look at the signage on the lot. If it says no, then no.
In Michigan,
yeah.
I did it anyways.
Other cases, there are people who say, they just do it, and then they go in and ask a manager, well, other people doing it, what about me? And then the manager says, well, they didn't ask. The policies, they had to say no. Hey, like I said,
well, like Toledo police. I mean, Toledo's always been a lawless town. I just had to file a complaint. I went, blah blah blah. When I was, quote, van camping for almost a year, the TPD, I call them Popo, they would knock on my van door. Say it's 1 PM and I'm trying to sleep. Not to harass me, because they knew me. Just same in Oregon, at the Walmart in Oregon, Ohio, where I visit the supercharger. Shit, I was supposed to go visit and update us. But just to make sure I was okay.
Yeah.
I think that is so cool that you got Toledo police and the ultra-militant Oregon police, and they would just come by my little Dodge minivan, bespoke, and make sure I was okay. So I think things will work out, Casey.
I think so. You say hi, Mike, your hands are covered in rice. Did you just get done eating? Oh, don't rub rice on the microphone. And then Brian says that the Highlanders shirt is about the only one I wear that gets comments.
I'm going to relaunch it next Michigan's summer event. Some people don't know me. Brian, I've met several times now. It's gotten to be a joke. And last weekend was just such a nice event. It's the kind of event you, as a dad with the wife and all the stresses of husband, wife, and the kids, you would have loved it, dude. It was just the most pretty, chill fall. The weather was just warm enough and just chill enough that it's autumn, but you didn't have to wear any kind of overcoat. Just a long sleeve is more than enough.
Oh, those are awesome days.
Pumpkins Hey, can I post something on the Purple Pill?
Yeah.
The pictures?
Okay. Yeah, do it. Oh, she headbutted my ear. Oh, thank you. tried to take my drink. You tried to take my drink. She knows how to use a straw now. So, let's go on to the next article real quick, and let's see what we've got here. We've got this one was pretty cool to me. I didn't read it, but the concept is there, and there's another one related to it. We'll get to that as well. The folks over at Chargeway are now posting real-time charging stations of real-time prices of charging stations at thousands of chargers on their Chargeway Plus service. So a lot of EV apps can tell you where the plugs are, but Chargeway tells you that too, along with everything else. So, rather than be an ad for Chargeway Plus, just saying they've got it, and that's really cool. And the related item is this one, Electrify America. There we go. Electrify America is now posting live charger status on Google Maps. So, Google Maps years ago has added a ability to specify that your vehicle is an EV, so that when you're planning routes and fueling, they actually take that into account. Sometimes they'll say, "Hey, this route will save you however many kilowatt hours," or "This route includes charging stations, and that one doesn't." I haven't kept up using it for long trips because, well, I've got the car, but that will be helpful for other people. Or I do use it for local stuff sometimes. What you trying to say? Say what you need to say, baby. You sound like you got something on your mind. Go ahead, say it. Are you shy? Pretend you're talking to me. You sound like that lady from Saturday Night Live. Only cough all the time. Yeah. What was that one? She doesn't know how the world works, but she kind of has a cough about everything. Interesting character. Where are you stepping off to? All right, so that's Google Maps. And then we've got this one for the folks who say that electric semis can't work. Well, not only have we got the charge, what was it? The charge on solar? No, that wasn't what it was. The competition that had all the commercial trucks in it last year, and then all the Tesla semis that are out there, and all the Volvos, and everybody else is just too busy working to say that it's impossible. Now, there's another study. North American Council for Freight Efficiency, or the NACFE, has challenged the notion that battery electric semi-trucks can't serve long-haul logistics. They're now presenting a slide deck made by pencil pushers and spreadsheets. They're proving that the heavy-duty EVs are ready with real-world electric semi-trucks covering hundreds of miles every day. Oh, yeah, so that was them. I didn't realize that was them. The run on less is these people. So run on less proved what needed to be proved. And Highlander says, I'm only on phone right now, but very soon I'll be back to Android and Apple, so I don't have to go back and forth. Oh, that's cool. Brian's getting back to work. Spider Snatcher. So continuing on, we've got so the charge on less run on less campaign is finished, and you can read the results now. That's good to see. We've got another efficiency situation going on here with our folks at Carrier, and HVAC giant Carrier has a solution for AC's excessive grid load: home batteries. Who would have guessed it? The energy demand for data centers is surging, along with record-setting heat domes and conversations about Category 6 for hurricanes. That was something I meant to look up. The Category 6, is it a proposal or what's going on there? Because it currently only goes to 5. It's 175 miles an hour plus is a Category 5. And the fact that it can go faster than that is scary as hell. Let's see. Carrier doesn't just sell comfort anymore. They're busy selling home battery energy storage tech. to address issues like grid resiliency and peak shaving directly. The company hopes to position itself at the center of home battery-backed virtual power plants with nationwide scale. There's a lot of people getting into this now. I saw Briggs and Stratton and a couple other big names that you're used to with gas stuff are getting into it. So let's look up this category 6 real quick. I'm curious at what this proposal is looking like. Cat 6 Hurricane. Proposal. It kept changing when I tried to type in. I'm typing one-handed. That makes it hard to do. All right, so the proposal for new Category 6 hurricane scale aims to better communicate intensity and potential impact of hurricanes in a warming climate. The current Saffir-Simpson scale, which ranks hurricanes from Category 1 to Category 5, does not account for risks associated with storm surges and rainfall, which can cause significant damage and loss of life. The new scale would include storms with wind speeds exceeding 192 miles per hour, reflecting the increasing intensity of hurricanes and the need for better risk communication. I don't know what you can do to, like a Category 5, you can build a home to survive the winds and the water, but 192 miles per hour. 192 miles per hour. I mean, I'm stunned. I don't even know what that looks like. Aside from, like, you know, if you build to the bare minimum standard, it's going to be utter destruction. Wow. I also wonder what they're going to call this scale, because it's kind of like with earthquakes. They silently had a scale that was very similar to the old scale, and to the point where people still say this rating on the Richter scale, and it hasn't been on the Richter scale in quite some time. I don't know at all. This is oof. I kind of want to watch some of those videos, but I bet you they're gonna be long. Let's see. Let's go to the next thing. This one I didn't read, but the title looked cool. World's largest industrial heat battery is online and solar powered. We had a large molten salt heat battery that we just deconstructed out in the Arizona desert. I think it was Arizona, could have been Nevada. Rondo Energy has begun a commercial operations of what it says is the world's largest industrial heat battery. A 100 megawatt hour system is now. Yes. Okay. Is now operating at Holmes Western Oil facility in California. Powered entirely by an on-site solar array, the system supplies constant high-pressure steam and heat to the plant, demonstrating how renewable energy can directly power heavy industry. Oh, this is good. So Elon has proposed that we use heat pumps to do everything up to industrial scale. And then industrial scale, he proposed we use burning hydrogen at that point, just because it would get a little hotter. And these folks are doing it on solar power. And let's see what temperatures they're talking about. Let's see if that counters anything he said.
Why am I raising my hand? I'm a co-host.
Yeah, why are you raising your hand?
I don't want to interrupt, but I have a direct family in Australia. We keep in touch, but it's on Messenger. And Australia is definitely loving the solar panel industry.
Yes.
And they contact me because uh, is something for the viewers to watch later, and a lot of people do. I'm in Toledo, which is called Glass City for a reason.
Because they make all the glass.
And we produce, I got to look this up so I could be accurate, but we have a company called First Solar. And they're putting up more and more. And these are big buildings, not auto factory from the 20s like I'm used to, but more and more. We produce a lot of solar panels in Metro Toledo. So we're all tied into that aspect. But Australia's through the roof, man. They're number one coal exporter in the world. They're dumping that stuff like it's rocks. And there's a lot of politics in a positive way involved. My cousin's directly involved in it, and he's like 70. But yeah, to stay on topic, definitely Australia.
Yeah, they also, like I was saying about some of those European countries, they are wise to start getting themselves some energy independence that they don't need to get involved in geopolitics for. And it's not like you can. I mean, you can run your ships on coal, but you can't run everything else on coal. So it's good to see them start to get off of that and then to get into solar and other renewable forms of electricity generation, or I said generation, but capture. Solar power capture, from wind to solar to even hydrogen. Although hydrogen is not very efficient. It's portable, though. Yeah, it's very portable. Yeah. Oh,
I can normally bring in 3 or 4 viewers.
Yeah.
But it takes an hour to post them. So what time are you going to call it quits?
Oh, we're chugging right along. I'm not sure how long we've been on. Let me see.
You usually run a good long show, 2-3 hours. But what I'm saying is, if it's going to be longer than an hour, I'll jump back on X and invite people.
Yeah, it won't be longer than an hour. I've got a couple more stories on electric, and I was going to pull up and skim inside EVs, and then I've got this lunch I'm going to try and.
Yeah. And then play with the babies and take care of household needs and
try and finally finish that paper for school. Because every time I sit down to do it, I get a Wiggles or I got to drive somebody somewhere. Or
Yep. Dude, I through the Tesla community and the veterans community, I 10 by 10 tent, and we talked about this once or twice before. I go to events. I have to get a new one because the Michigan hurricane, and for those of us there was a hurricane. I'm hosting. This is going to be big, man. We got to get on this. Maybe we can do a live non-Sunday podcast. 250th anniversary of the Army, the Navy, and Marines. The Army did theirs in June. I don't know if you're open to this sort of thing. Some people don't want anything to do with military. But in Grand Rapids, Michigan, we're going to have 800 drones. They're awesome. I'm best friends with the guy. I mean, literally best friends. My tent's going to be the history of submarines through peace. I'm doing this all for free. So it's going to be awesome. Maybe we can chat in a DM and maybe do a room or something, whether it's YouTube or X, and cover it for a little while. Kick it around in your head for a little while.
Okay. Mako's about to go on a walk here. You going on a walk? She's eating that fake chicken strip still. Here you go. Have a good time, baby. Okay. Yeah, that'd be something to look at. Let's see. Bricks and wires. Oh, so it sounds like they're just using raw. Like it's not even a heat pump. It's just raw electricity. That's interesting. The more industrial facilities that use renewables as a source for energy, the better. I think it's good empirically to test different technologies in different situations. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So next, we've got the other Oregon, the state, has launched its first solar and storage DC fast charging station. X-Charge of North America has opened Oregon's first solar and storage DC fast charging station at Arrowhead Travel Plaza in Pendleton, as part of the Wild Horse Resort and Casinos complex owned by the Confederated Tribes of the Umlatilan Indian
Is this
Reservation.
out by Patrick's neighborhood of the country?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Moto is trying to FaceTime me. So if you guys
They're not calling me.
No, that's Moto.
They're calling you.
That's Moto calling me. Yeah.
As long as it's not a bill collector, you go ahead and answer it.
Well, I don't know how the system reacts to me answering calls. So if it crashes everything, that would.
Nothing personal, but I haven't been with you for more than a minute on your shows.
Mm-hmm.
You've got technical upgrades that you're constantly improving. I'll put it that way.
Right. That's why I don't want to invite a crash.
Yeah, no. You know I'm safe with my little Apple 15, but oh my goodness, your system's fragile, and you do this shit for a living. It cracks me up.
Right. All right, so that's cool. They got this new thing. Let's move on to the next one. Here's the one I was talking about. Same article photo, but there we go. Okay,
if it's not your wife or your mother, don't answer the phone call.
It's my daughter from the other room.
No, you got her on a cell phone too, because
no, she's on a tablet.
Brother, he's my half brother. 6 months old, he gives her the cell phone. A year and a half, she's the smartest kid I ever met in the world, and I'm not kidding you.
Yeah, I saw a short from Vox. They were talking about a psychologist who gives his kids at 3 cell phone, but the whole point of the short was for you to go watch the longer interview, and people were jumping to conclusions from that little bit of statement. And other people understood. They're like, "Hey, this is an intriguing topic, and yes, I will go watch the full interview." I haven't seen the interview yet, but somebody else knew what everybody else was doing and pointed out that the way he does it, he didn't just hand them a phone and be like, "Here you go." He's got restrictions on it, and he's slowly introducing. Yeah, he slowly introduces new concepts, so that way, as the kids grow up, they aren't shell shocked by the world.
And that's the way of the future. So my Apple 15.
Yeah.
I believe it or not, and I'm not bragging. I get all these points, and I'm maxed out on YouTube points, which means when I go into somebody's room, it's a big deal. I don't know how the frickin' system works, but in any case, to get back to way off topic, but you and I are on it. So, cell phones with kids. My Apple will tell me it's too close. I'm too close to it because I recognize what Pete Gruber and I have talked about this, and I talked to Pete on the phone.
Yeah.
And about this, and it's like, yeah, it is what it is. That's the future. Your kids are going to learn on the cell phone.
Right.
Just make sure to keep that radioactive or a radar device, with your smaller child,
right,
far enough away. That's what I like about that Apple feature.
Yeah. There's a guy who explained it really well before this psychologist. That this other lady had explained it pretty well to me, not directly to me, but I read his article. He pointed out that when he was a kid, they had Lego and colored blocks, and and his kids, they had the electronic VTech stuff, the speak and spell, and each time they're like, I don't imagine that it was as bad, but he had the colored blocks and Lego. But for his kids, the electronics, there was a big controversy over the fact that that those kids were getting electronics. They were purely educational, like literally.
And that is so on point. I was in a chat room 2 days ago, and I was talking because I'm a kid of the late '60s, early '70s. I tell the story famously. My sister, myself, she's a grade younger than me, and our best friend, we were so upset because we had to go inside to watch this thing called The Man Landing on the Moon.
Ah, yes.
We could not have cared less. To everybody else, literally in the world, we were outside.
Yeah.
That was back when your parents sent you to your bedroom and it was a punishment.
Yeah.
Today, the kids live in the bedroom on their cell phone.
Right.
They don't go outside. I can't sleep unless I put in my 5K a day.
Yeah.
It's not a lot, but I got my little cell phone monitoring me, and I won't do it. I'll stay up until midnight if I have to. I'll click 5K. I got this little medical monitoring thing.
Yeah.
But to get back to your last point, I had a chemistry set.
Yeah. And I bet you it's nothing like today's chemistry sets. There was some stuff in there for sure.
No. This stuff, I mean, half the stuff is probably banned.
Yes.
But they all came in little blue bottles. It was chemistry set. And it came with instructions. I could use each one. And it's just like the vocational schools. When they took that out and said, you have to be either a business manager, an artist, and they took away all the vocational schools out of everything. And that was devastating to our national wealth, just the education pool. Like Sandy Monroe, there are several people who are so highly successful, but they'd fail miserably at school.
Yeah. Somebody pointed out that this way that we've been doing that particular thing has created these bubbles. Like first we had the we had the housing bubble, the prime bubble, but the MBA bubble, the doctoral bubble, and then it's like because you tell all these kids to go chase this one thing, and then for the next 5-10 years they're all chasing this one thing, and then all of a sudden they'll get out of school and everybody's done that one thing. And we also told them that they shouldn't be doing vocational school and shouldn't be a plumber or electrician, and so now you have a shortage there. And it was an interesting point. But this guy with the Legos and the colored blocks and the speak and spell, the way that was pointed out to him by a doctor was, hey, this teaches hand-eye coordination, teaches colors, teaches balance, and teaches them how to interact with things that they're going to work with in the real world, like light switches and plugs. And the tablet was the same thing, colored, colors and shapes and hand-eye coordination. It's kind of fun and teaches them something they're going to interact with in the world, a computer. And so as long as you keep them away from like the algorithmic, just buy and like same way they've got the perverse slot machine like effect on our adults apps. Not to say adults like just not aimed at kids, adults like social media and stuff. They've got that in the kids apps. Like, all right, are you gonna get mommy and daddy's credit card? And so if you can keep them away from that and then make sure it's like educational or at least just good clean fun, then his point was that this is the same thing as the the choo-choo train on a string, the wooden one or the painted one or the Legos. And so it's just very similar sort of like outrage, like, oh, it's not the way it was when I was a kid. Yeah, but as long as you're mindful about what they're consuming, it's not it's better than a blanket ban, because then if you do the blanket ban, then all of a sudden they turn 18 and they can do screens and they're not restricted at all. And all of a sudden,
I have a young lady friend at a diner. It's so apropos you said that. Sorry to interrupt, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And she's going through the thing with the 13, 14-year-old niece, and she just went totally reckless. And you got to remind yourself, what did I do when I was their age? I had to really dig deep and bring it home. And at the local diner, there's a young gal, and I talked to her, and she knows my niece, and her brother went to school, and she's like, my family was so strict and so conservative.
So she rebelled when she got out.
And she's like, you got to be real careful with that stuff, because now I don't want to say she's a total freak, but she she's a lot more out there than she was when she goes, so no, I'm not a fan of the heavy, and she's a young woman,
Mm-hmm.
In her late teens. She's about to turn 20, 21.
Yeah.
She goes, I'm more of a moderate of, yes, discipline, but not the whole total this, that, or the other type of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of in that camp. I don't discuss politics, but I'm a libertarian. I try to pick the best of both sides and go with that.
Yeah, like for example, there's some kids that I went to school with. One's family was like of the French mindset, like, hey, we have a glass of wine with every dinner, and as long as the kids are with us, they can have some too. They don't have it on their own. We give them one glass, and they enjoy it with us. And those kids didn't turn out to be freaking raging alcoholics and binge drinkers at the school, whereas the house next door, they were, just always waving their Bible at you and just aggressive and very restrictive and ultra conservative, like you said.
Yep.
Those kids, oh my goodness.
My goodness.
One of them had to get stomach pumped.
In the United States come from.
Yeah.
I was raised very ethnic German, extreme in Toledo, a very German Catholic, Polish Hungarian society, and it still is. It's just a little watered down, but I had a glass of beer, and I'll never forget it. Even though you're not supposed to remember your memories when you're 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Had me a bottle of beer when he took me to the bowling alley, and we'd as kids we're allowed to have a glass of beer.
Yeah. Something happened to your microphone? They got him again. Oh, there he is. Welcome back. Oh no, that's me talking. Coming back.
My mic
there you go.
My ex shut down. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
And then in case to finish my part, we were raised ethnic German. We served a glass of beer if we wanted it, fine. If we didn't, that was fine. And I make a lot of fun about my drinking Guinness and being a heavy drinker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably one of the most modest drinkers. I say that jokingly to hide all of my medical deficiencies. Short term, this, that, the other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I cope with life, to be honest with you.
I got you. Yeah, I was never a big fan of the beers when they let me try it as a kid, but the wine was all right. I don't really drink much of anything these days. Every couple of years.
See, wine gives me a terrible headache.
Mm-hmm.
Beer tastes like cheap water.
Right.
But in all sincerity, Guinness Stout, and the people had to survive on that because the water wasn't
good. Yeah, exactly.
Terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They drank beer, and it was watered down beer. That was healthy, and that's the way the Middle Ages got through. And for me, Guinness Stout is like, yeah, and mead. And being Roman Catholic, we don't shy away from that. But at Kroger's, I'm paying almost $14 for 4 bottles of Guinness.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's kind of like my daily treat. I'll have a Guinness after dinner and, do whatever. And on the weekends, I'll have an entire 4-pack. Woohoo!
Right.
I got all my it's so sad a commentary on how bad drugs are, and it's global.
Yeah.
I look at people for the smile, and I smile at them because it's a reactive thing, and they'll smile back at you. No teeth? All right. Sorry, pal. Wish you the best of luck, but the fact that you don't have your front teeth tells me you got issues.
Something happened. So back on the subject. Sorry. The Norway says mission accomplished on going 100% EVs and proposes incentive changes. So I haven't read this article, but I bet you they're going to say that they are looking to wind it back because now they don't need to incentivize you to buy an EV. But what I suspect will happen is it won't be as aggressive as it was for the gas cars with the tariffs and import duties and taxes and everything. So let's take a look. For years, Norway has been the poster child for electric vehicle adoption, a perfect example of how a combination of ambitious goals and robust incentives can transform a nation's entire automotive industry. So we see them be the first large nation to go all EV, basically. We had Ethiopia and we had Nepal, but they're not large nations. And they don't really have that many new car sales. So this is a different animal. Now, with the country on the cusp of achieving its 100% all electric new car sales by 2025, the Norwegian government is signaling a new phase in its EV strategy, proposing changes to its incentive program that include the introduction of taxes on electric vehicles. We knew they were, we knew they were coming, but I'm hoping that they're not as high as they were for the gas cars. Basically, they never raised them on the gas cars; they just discounted them to like nothing on the EVs. So hopefully they don't go back to full pop yet until they have a full transition. Because just because you hit 100% doesn't mean that some of the folks aren't going to just go back. New phase. We've often used Norway's success electrifying its vehicle fleet as an example of how quickly the electric transition can impact the automotive market under the right conditions. They made it happen through a comprehensive package of incentives, including exemptions from purchase taxes, VAT, free access to toll roads and bus lanes, and tons of on top of properly taxing internal combustion engines vehicles. This resulted in EVs being the preferred choice for a vast majority of new car buyers. In 2024, a staggering 88.9% of new cars sold in Norway were all electric, a figure that has continued to climb in 2025. Their finance minister, Jens Stoltenberg, has announced mission accomplished via Reuters. He says we had a goal that new passenger cars should be electric by 2025, and we can say that goal has been achieved. And he sells it short a little bit. Their goal was by 2035, and then by 2030, and then they moved it up one last time to 2025. With the finish line in sight, the Norwegian government, is now fine-tuning its approach. The current incentive program maintains a crucial VAT exemption for EVs, but only up to a purchase price of 500,000 Norwegian kroner, approximately $49,000 US, which could be a problem. We're going to talk about how the average price of a car sold in the U.S. is now topped $50,000 for average new cars.
I had my hand up.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I just moved to an apartment, changed over driver's license. Friday, I changed over my registration.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like $60-some because I said, I got to come back here in December to renew. We can do your tags right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like $60. I'm like, for what?
Mm-hmm.
Same person, same car. Why am I paying $60?
Mm-hmm.
I shut up and left it alone, but I think it's a valid point.
Yeah.
Really? What? And she said, just be glad this is on point. You don't own an electric vehicle.
Yeah.
We're charging them over $300.
Yeah, and South Carolina, my last one
State
was...
of Ohio, if you own an electric vehicle, you're going to get hammered at DMV or whatever they call it in Ohio where I live.
Yeah.
To me, it's Secretary of State. I live in Michigan in my mind.
Yeah. My last one in South Carolina was like $490. And the last one in Virginia was about the same, 400 and some just random pulled out of their butt numbers.
Don't give away your location. You're in a secret location.
I am, but I said this is the last time I was at either of those places. So
I'm joking, but you get it.
The place I'm in now still charges a surcharge on EVs, but it's reasonable. It's like $25-$50. I'm like, okay, it's not some just random $300 that you just pulled out, $900.
And I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah.
Because Ohio, I was on my way to this is a Buchanan event, a Scottish event, like my picture shows there. I travel throughout I-75 corridor for all kinds of events, veterans, Scottish, and electric. In any case, I'm on my way down there, and the state of Ohio I'm listening to live broadcasting, some podcasts out of Ohio. And the state of Ohio is talking about how beautiful our roads are, and compared to Michigan, they are. Yeah. And this, that, and the other. And then they hit you with the whammy. It's like a 10-minute, 5-minute, whatever, long commercial on radio. And we're going to start charging electric vehicles because they don't pay taxes. And
that's not even true.
Our roads get fixed by gas taxes. Yeah, so you have to pay. And I totally get that.
Yeah.
I just think it should be appropriate and
when they say
the right amount.
Yeah, when they say fair share, it should be fair and it should be based on something. Also, electricity isn't tax free. So if you want to take some of the electricity for electric vehicle owners from their home usage, you just work that. You control the electric companies, whether they're commercial or built into the government. You control both of them, so you can get your tax from that if you know the person drives an EV. Also, any DC fast charging means that they're definitely using it on the road, and that is already taxed. So, and then you paid whatever sales tax or use tax they already do. So they've got these extra fees that they just pull out of their butts, and then you've got the Secretary of Transportation wants to add another 500 or more on top of that.
What's this? I hadn't heard about this.
Oh,
now they want to put a federal tax on EVs.
He was doing this before. He was doing this before he was nominated, and he never did back off of it. So we don't know where it is right now. Other than
I don't know anything about this. That's why I come to podcasts to learn.
Yeah. So
explain, please.
The Transportation Secretary he was pushing this before he got the nomination about adding hundreds of dollars on top for the EVs, and then he never did back down from it when he did get nominated. And then he's the same one who was talking about, oh, we ended the subsidies. That's good. They shouldn't for the 30 years, whatever. And I said, well, yeah, Mr. Ex-oil CEO, your industry is getting, $20,000 per car incentive. We want to talk about if you can't make it after 30 years without incentives. What if you can't make it after 200 years with no incentives?
Yeah, well, time to get off of that. We all know what about gas and oil. We all know that. And I live on 2 oil processors. Some of the largest in the country, believe it or not, in Toledo. It's ridiculous. They're picking on us.
Yeah.
They really are. It's unfair. It's not proportional. I want to emphasize, not proportional.
Right.
How are we going to get more affordable people into cars that do not pollute?
Yeah, if they didn't.
We don't need... I am a very pro-environmentalist. I'm not active in that community, but in my life and my lifestyle, I'm a very outdoors kind of guy. I'm a Michigan kind of guy. I think you raise your children that way, play outside, get healthy. And they're trying to squash us like bugs, and that's why we have to have rooms like yours and everybody's to go, no. When I mentioned I go to this place where I get $1 money order,
yeah,
she said electric cars blow up, and I'm like,
whoa.
We have to is the very, very broad community, solar cars, whatever, educate people. No, our cars don't blow up.
No, not any more than any other car. In fact, less, because there's less to blow up. They have
far less.
They have like
my Chrysler Dodge minivan. When the fan shuts out, and I've chased it twice now.
Yeah.
When that fan cuts off, they've had so many explosions. The motor blows up. They've had the recalls. It's all documented, but that doesn't make the news.
Right.
The minute a Tesla or any other EV, any little thing happens, it's news all over the world.
Yeah. Like you've got about 2 or 3 gallons worth of electricity in gallons of gas worth of electricity energy in the largest battery EVs. We're talking like Tesla Model SX, the Chevy Silverado with the big battery, the Rivians.
Yeah, Chevy's got the big ones.
Yeah, the Hummer. We're talking less than 4 gallons of gas for even the giant ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing.
Mm-hmm. And so there's nothing to blow up. It's ridiculous. Oh, but that's the marketing doing a number on you, and we saw that with what was his name, Billy Bob Thornton. Only to find out that wasn't even his thing, even though it sounds like something he might say when he's just grumbling. Somebody put that there for him to say.
I don't know. To me, it's the same. And the one thing I like about the X community is you tend to have a fairly educated audience.
Yeah.
No matter what room you run into, you really do. And to me, it's like big tobacco. They fought tooth and nail, and everybody wanted to be balanced, so they bring in these idiots as a counterbalance.
Yeah.
Get real, people. If you're smoking, if you have anything going into your lungs other than nitrogen and oxygen, it's probably bad for you.
Probably so.
So but it was one of the biggest industries in the world, and tobacco got away with it. And there's people like me who still hang on, but that's why I hate vapes, and I hate.
Well, I mean,
way off topic.
They made it addictive on purpose, and then they paid to make sure that people looked the other way or that there was no punishment, and they got their money. Yeah.
And now they're doing it to the EVs to try to bring it back home.
They're trying to. And
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I'll say one thing. We all, those of us, when I say in the community, I don't just mean Tesla. I mean the general EV.
Yeah. This isn't the Tesla
We picked
show.
on General Motors. Okay. We had our fun with Mary Barra, but I'm telling you, they are all in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're the only major automaker in the world who's not pulling back. And did you know something, Casey? Because we're about to meet at one of the major. Well, we're gonna help make it a destination charge. Michigan is going to be the major event. We're number 2 now. We're going to blow them off the map.
There you go. Yeah.
My point being, I invited General Motors with the blessings of our Michigan group, and they came. Everybody loved it.
Yeah. Yeah. They're the number 2.
The dealership could not be better friends with me right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everybody got along, and it was great. And because we weren't promoting one brand,
right,
we were promoting this is what's healthier and better for our kids.
That's right. Yeah. So
that's the takeaway. I have a child. You have 2.
Yeah.
This is what's better for everybody.
Definitely. What's happening right now is GM is outside of Tesla. They are the number 1 selling EV in the U.S. Hands down. No other way.
According to Autoline News, which I watch every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, they are, and they keep good track of this stuff.
That they do. I mean, it's the lifeblood.
And I live across. I literally live a half mile from they call it powertrain or something. I don't know. Whatever they call it, they keep changing. It's the sole supplier for all of their electric vehicle. We can't. What's the name, Casey? It's not a transmission anymore. Gear case. What do you call it when an electric vehicle has a simple transmission? It's like a 2-gear type situation.
Yeah, it's still a transmission or a gear train or a drivetrain. Yeah.
I think drivetrain maybe is what they're using. Yeah. I mean, it's not a big complex transmission, but you still have to have a little A to B mechanical gearbox. And they made a huge expansion in Toledo.
Good.
For it.
Yeah. So back to Norway, they their EVs are they're going to start reducing the tax credit or tax break, but only on vehicles over 49,000. So I like this because they're looking at making sure that they're making it fair for everybody. So if you can afford an expensive new car, then you can afford the taxes that go with it. But if you can't, then they help out a little bit. Similar to how we have we used to have, the used car tax credit to go along with the new car tax credit, but all that's gone now on the EVs, and like I got on that sidetrack where I was talking about how our average sale prices cross over 50K. I'm not sure but it sounds like they might be able to use something like that up there as well. However, they have access to the Chinese EVs and the other options, so that may not be as urgent as us here in the States. And our 50,000.
A lot of discussions there.
Yeah.
A lot of discussions.
Yeah, and our 50,000 isn't just
as
EVs.
A side note.
Yeah.
As a quick side note.
Yeah.
Now that I'm back in the flush, I just put down my deposit for a slate.
There you go.
It's kind of a gamble, but
it is.
Why not?
Yeah, it is. But
I'm a bare bones kind of guy, and I'm happy with my lifestyle. I am.
Yeah, I think it's a good choice. It's the way that like everybody has like these smart TVs. I've got a smart TV too, but if you gave me a choice of the same price of a smart TV or one that's just a screen, I would pick the one that's just a screen, maybe with a TV tuner in it, maybe. But I don't plan to hook up cable or airwave to it, so just a screen.
I had an 80-inch, and I was so proud when I bought it. I was making bank on overtime. I'm a factory electrician, you know the deal.
Mm-hmm.
And moving from Metro Dayton to Metro Toledo, it broke.
Oh.
And I've been rocking either an Android or Apple ever since. Mm-hmm. That's it. I couldn't understand how that's people to watch television on it.
Yeah.
That's all I do now.
Yeah.
I haven't purchased a television in 5 years, but for my new little kitty cat, way off topic, but it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Cats are registered as 3-year-olds. I mentioned it earlier in the podcast. I'm getting my cat. It's on TV.
Yeah.
And lots of towers. So I'll be quiet on that topic.
Oh, there you go. That sounds like fun. So this would apply for year 2026, and when the tax exception would completely end in 2027. That's fair. Additionally, the government plans to increase taxes on new gas. Oh, there you go. So they're not hold them steady anymore. They're increasing the taxes on new gasoline and diesel cars. They haven't banned them, but they want to make
what? Which country?
This is still Norway. Still Norway. They don't want to.
Oh God, I was going to say, you say in the U.S., I'm going to die.
Yeah, not here. So it's actually kind of good to see them do this way because you have a choice if you want to or need to buy one of these combustion vehicles for any reason. You're just going to pay your fair share of it, literally this time instead of just a number pulled out of the hat. And so the government plans to increase taxes on those vehicles, further widening the gap between pollution and zero emission vehicles. However, the proposal still needs to be adopted by Norway's government, and there is some opposition. The EV associations are advocating a more extended phase out to ensure the adoption doesn't decline. Yeah, I think that's prudent. But if they do what they were doing to phase it out, but just keep raising the tax on the combustors, then I think it will still work. But if they just set them all back to 200% import and this much local, and there was no difference between the gas and electric, then yeah, that would be a cell phone right there.
Well, I think in the United States, there's going to be, take Jay Leno, for example, or there's going to be people with antique cars, high price cars, certain farm areas. There's going to be certain areas where you're going to need the old-fashioned ICE vehicle, the old-fashioned V8, slant 6, a 4. It's going to make more sense. But everything we can do to drive it down, my issue is, and I've lived in poverty, brother, like you can't believe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not there, thank goodness, but electric vehicles, especially, let's slide over to robo-taxis, or it doesn't matter which brand, autonomous. I see it helping the nursing homes and the homeless shelters the most. I've lived in a very nice homeless shelter. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I didn't do anything wrong. Mm-hmm. I'm glad it was there to help me in my time of need. There were people there who were hardworking, had all the full teeth. A lot of them that I met, it was because of medical bills that they wound up in a homeless shelter.
Yeah.
And then when it came time, because when you're so broke that you wind up in a homeless shelter, I always had my dot, so I was a different category. You're like a king. When you go to a homeless shelter and you have a vehicle,
Yeah.
you're a god. Because a lot of them are so broke, good, hardworking people. Not everybody in there is drug addicted or alcoholics or whatever's. They could not get to work.
Mm.
They landed a premium job. I saw this with a young woman. I remember hearing about her basketball career in the Metro Toledo, in the Toledo basketball community. She couldn't get to work.
Yeah.
It was way off the bus line. It was a good paying position. She is highly qualified for it. And she could not afford our local taxi cab service. That would be anybody who's listening afterwards. The next thing, we'll take a cab. Well, the area is so crime ridden, for one thing. They don't like coming here. And it's extremely expensive. And we only have one service, one cabbie service in all of Metro Toledo, black and white. You can look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Toledo's still a mob town. People don't like hearing it, but it is. For better or worse. But that's where I see autonomous vehicles helping the most is the homebound elderly, or say you're disabled, like my daughter's special needs. So I'm very active in that part of the Tesla community. It's very helpful in that aspect. And I see that really being the foothold. I think, they want to make all these grand statements about Austin. Go to the I'm sorry, Kacey and friends. Go to the senior centers. Go to the people who need it the most, and where it can provide the best service and still make a profit.
Yeah.
A slim profit. Okay, maybe the way they're going at it now, it's splashier, and they have to make a profit, but I see that as the future. The people who can afford, Navy Mike's in here. I'm going to bring them up.
All
with
right.
your blessings.
Yeah, sure.
Give me a minute, guys. I'm a little rusty.
Okay. So, Wallbox, they have enabled the ability to do vehicle to X from your Kia EV9 for the first time. I say vehicle to X. They are specifically touting V2H, vehicle to home, but we know that that's just a small step up to go beyond that. So 6 Quasar 2 units were installed in Menfree, California, in collaboration with Kia America and University of California, Irvine. This brought vehicle-to-home tech into households, showing how EVs can double home power sources, reduce costs, and strengthen the grid. And let's start 6 units at the start. So this is
one note to any new viewers. This is a family-friendly space. We have a pre-1-year-old, and how old is she now? 2 or 3, Kacey?
3, yeah.
3-year-old. So please keep our military selves to ourselves and respect the fact that we have 3-year-olds and under listening. Sorry to interrupt.
That's okay. So in the past, we've covered other hydrofoil boats, especially EV hydrofoil boats, and we've got another one now. This might be one of the ones we've already discussed, making a new milestone. I'm not sure. We'll find out. But this flying electric boat is to showcase cutting commute times in half in Washington, D.C. The beauty of these electric hydrofoils is not only do you lift the boat out of the water, reducing the water resistance, the drag, you also, with these new computer controls that they've got, are able to actuate the hydrofoil so many times per second that it's actually smoother than if the hull was sitting in the water, or the old school hydrofoils where they would be quite a choppy ride. So let's see. What if your commute didn't involve gridlock on 395 or the Orange Line, but instead meant silently flying over the Potomac at 30 knots? Exactly what Stockholm. Oh, there's Anders people. Stockholm-based Candela is bringing to the Washington D.C. This week with the U.S. demo of its flying electric boats. While it doesn't appear to be a permanent route nor make use of the company's latest flagship commercial vessel, the P-12 shuttle. Oh wow! So they're not even bringing their new stuff. Like, oh, you thought that was nice? Look what we got for sale today. This is an old stock that nobody wanted. This is recall.
Brian, can you invite Mike up, Navy Mike, to be a speaker? It's not working for me. And he disappeared because he's a good guy.
Yeah.
On that thing, so I live very frugally, but you know what I want to buy?
What's that?
Guess what?
Chicken butt.
They have unlicensed. No. That you can actually buy them. I don't know how much they cost, and the price is dropping rapidly. A little one-man hovercraft.
Oh, nice.
One-man drones.
I always wanted a hovercraft.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be cool?
Yeah.
To be at the one of the Michigan events or whatever, and my veterans event, and just come drop in. You don't need the license or whatever, anything, because it's
like a kayak.
There's a term for it. Like you can't fly above 100 feet or something.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, but they're making them commercially now.
Yeah.
So you just jump into your own little private drone, and I don't have to fly across drive across the river. I'm terrified of heights, which is ironic because I love flying. I just don't like doing it on ladders and scissor lifts and such. But I could just pop in and fly. I just can picture flying to my local Kroger's, you know, and parking it. And it's like, where do you park it? Do you park it in the handicap zone? Where do you park these little guys?
Probably just a parking
spot. But the price is coming down so rapidly. I can see in 2 years, everything I do, these events and all this stuff, it's my overtime money. So to me, it's like I can throw it away. And I do. I keep inviting people and tell them I'll pay for your passage. I don't care. It's not my personal budget. That's my overtime money. So I throw it away. I want to buy one of these little puppies. And when I do, you and Pete Gruber are going to be the first ones to have access.
That'd be fun. So the P-12, it lives out of the water using a wing under the water. That's why it's a hydrofoil. And the demonstration underscored how this level of speed and efficiency could actually change how people move around DC. A typical commute on the Georgetown to Reagan Airport by car is about 20 minutes. On public transit, it's 37. On the P-12, just 6 minutes. Similarly, a water ride from Alexandria to the wharf would be quick and a 10-minute journey. Likely faster than your rideshare app could even find a driver during rush hour. Yeah, it could be a minute when you're waiting for an Uber. The Candela P-12 is more than just a speedy commuter. It's also quiet, clean, and surprisingly comfortable. Its computer-controlled hydrofoils make it for a ride that's smooth enough to prevent seasickness, and the onboard C-Pod electric motor hums along with no noise or vibration. No slamming into waves, no diesel fumes to choke on, and the whole thing feels like riding in luxury, riding in a luxury train than a boat. Oh, and I've got an updated interior shot of it. Yeah, I have a feeling we've covered this vehicle before, but here it is in DC. Candela says the operating costs are 60% lower than that of diesel-powered vessels, which is what we come to expect with an EV, right? Which puts them in line with land-based mass transit options like buses. In cities like DC, where shoreline erosion and speed restrictions limit traditional ferries, the P-12's wake-free cruising means it can get exemptions to run at high speeds, even in no-wake zones. I mean, it just has no wake, right? So you can argue, and it looks like they're going to. Well, I mean, we can do 20 knots because even though it says 6, our disturbance is less than 4. And then, any bureaucrat that has a problem with that, assuming it's not like a play, people actually in the water where you're striking them would be a problem. But if it's just like transit, then yeah, that would be really hard for somebody to deny with a straight face. We're not merely replacing diesel ferries, we're enabling a new layer of transport by utilizing the underused waterways, said Gustav Hasselkalk. I'm sorry. Cantella's founder and CEO. We're already in discussions with several U.S. companies that see the potential of using flying electric vessels to bypass congestion. And this looks really cool. These seats look pretty comfortable. They look like the original Model X seats, like just one piece, beautiful, with a pole to hold them up, single pole, and Then I like that they've just got this guy's bike inside, showing that you can do the multi-mode transportation. You don't have to ride your bicycle miles and miles a day. You can ride your bike, like 1 or 2 miles or a couple hundred feet, and you can take the mass transit and be just fine. Washington, D.C. demo is limited to coincide with the Swedish Green Transportation Summit, a forum focused on sustainable innovation, and will run through October 23rd. So running out of time if you want to go see this. From a launch site adjacent to the Swedish embassy. That's pretty cool. It's part marketing, part diplomacy, and part real world proof of concept that the urban waterborne transit doesn't have to be slow, loud, or dirty. If only we're presenting to a more receptive audience right now. It's not, but you can rub their noses in it at least. For cities surrounded by rivers and plagued by congestion, Candela's pitch is clear. Don't pave more roads that just fly over the water. If the P12 delivers in DC the way that it has in Sweden, this could be the start of an entirely new commute for many U.S. cities. And I do believe we looked at the one of the boats in Sweden that had an onboard DC fast charge, right? Was it 50, 75 kilowatts? It's been a minute since I looked at that article, but that was pretty cool. These things look great. I had a chance to ride in one once. I hope I get a chance to ride in one someday. It'd be great to go from New Jersey to Manhattan versus the existing ferries. Oh yes. I'd like one for the Martha's Vineyard ferry.
Oh my
visiting
goodness.
Grandma's house, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's a long ferry ride.
It just had flashbacks of my time in California where you sit in a car.
Yeah.
You're on a frickin' 4-lane interstate both ways, and you're sitting in your car, and you can't roll down the window.
No, because it stinks.
Not because it's so hot out, because you can't breathe.
Exactly.
I remember when I was a young kid, Casey.
Yeah.
We used to have smog reports in Detroit and Toledo radio TV station, and the pollution was bad. Now it's gone.
Yes.
But, I just can't believe the traffic. It's just so crazy. Boss, the number one city I don't like going to, and my niece, one of my favorites, she's the actual blood niece. We're pretty loose with this whole Scottish thing.
Mm-hmm.
Lived in Boston because she went to University of Michigan as a scientist, and she graduated from U of M chemistry department as a scientist. And she goes, well, that was my goal, and I made it happen. And now she worked for a small pharmacy. They hired her right there in COVID because I'll never forget it. They had to put her up in 2 weeks in a hotel room for containment and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So she's working at the small pharmacy, and Pfizer brought them out, and every employee had stock. And then Pfizer brought them out, and she moved back to Michigan to be close to mommy, my sister.
Mm-hmm.
That girl's worth bank, dude. No, I'm talking for us middle class. You're more upper middle. I'm a decent middle class. She's making bank.
That's good. So scrolling through Inside EVs real quick, we see that the headline story here is one that Highlander just told us about. It's not just the Bolt. A family of low-cost EVs is coming, GM president says. GM plans to follow up on the 2027 Bolt with other models starting around $30,000. There we go. There's also a headline that absolutely GM president says it is preparing for Chinese competition in America. I've clicked on it so we can tap into it. Then they've got a complaint about the NACS plug. I'm curious what that is because I happen to like the NACS plug. And the problem with plug-in hybrids that keeps happening. Nice clickbait article. Hopefully it's not a TikTok article, but we'll see. Ownership stories. Are EVs a good buy if you live in a small town? Absolutely. No questions asked. Expert scours the country for Chevrolet's long lost.
As long as you're a homeowner. Our biggest problem is half of us live in apartments like myself.
Well,
I happen to be in a unique position where I'm going to just put the chargers out front. I'll have the guys off shift. I am the plant electrician.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this all on the sly, but I'll get it done.
Yeah.
I'm getting my own charger out front, the factory. I'm not leaving them. They don't pay the best. It's not the best, but They're very people friendly now with our new ownerships.
Yeah.
And suddenly one day there'll just be an EV thing, and I'll be on your show, and Pete Gruber's and Brian's, and I'm going to pop it up there.
And there you go.
There you go.
Yeah. So the multifamily charging situation is always, or not always, or it has always been a concern, and as we've seen the last few weeks, there are solutions coming forth that make it easier and cheaper for not just landlords but also for slumlords to do the right thing. So that way, even the crappiest landlords have almost no excuse not to do it if they want to retain customers. So hopefully that trend continues.
I'm glad you mentioned slumlords, because speaking from right now, today experience, a lot of that includes us veterans for one reason or the other. And it's educating them on, there's so many different subsidies or grants or whatever you want to call it for this place. I'm trying to get, it might sound crazy, if I'm going to stay here more than 1 year, I'm going to get together some of my YouTube friends, and believe it or not, some of them actually got more than a penny. I mean, they got a lot of money. Let's just buy the damn place, fix it up, and you can make a minimal profit.
Oh, there you go.
Will it be 10%? No. Will it? The only important thing is you're doing the right thing, and will it generate a positive income? Maybe it's 3%, which is, you know, for somebody of that wealth, it's a waste of money, but it's doing the right thing. And like I said, if I looking at my financial picture, that's something that's open to it, and I had people approach me about it. So
there's little reason.
My number one thing is be nice to everybody on the internet.
Yes,
because you never know who's on the other side of the channel. You really don't.
That's right. But there's little reason not to make these investments. You call them capital investments, you call them building repairs, whatever you want. Usually you can write the taxes off. If you had done it before September ended, you actually got additional cash back. I mean, there are people who will do nothing to their property. I get that this stuff is expensive, but if you've got the cash in there and you're just being cheap, that's different than if you're trying to make ends meet yourself and you've got this property that you're not charging the correct amount of rent for. That's different. But most of the ones that we see doing zero to their properties are not in that boat. There are some, but most of them are just being greedy. But particularly like the large corporate, like, oh yeah, we've got this beautiful thing, and we just did the facade and we updated the pool, and then you've got a water leak. Oh, we're not going to fix the leak, or we're not going to fix your water heater. Come on now. So expert sours the country for Chevrolet's long lost debut electric pickup, and then he gets his hands on one. So that's probably going to be a story about Patrick's first pickup truck, first electric pickup truck, I should say. I don't know if it's his first pickup truck or not. They don't know the facts. Tesla driver says this is the worst part of owning an EV. That's something I run across there. Lucid gravity highway range test, not quite as expected, and here's why. That's coming from Tom Bologna. The Grand Touring EPA rated 450 miles of range. Here's why it fell short in a 70 mile per hour highway test. Drive down to 1%. Well, I'll tell you why. Because you were driving 70 miles per hour. That the test doesn't get that high, and if you do the multi-test, it only gets there for a brief period. So if you're testing it at 70, it's not going to get the 450. Just saying. LMR batteries could unlock mid-size EV trucks, GM president says. We'll see. Hyundai Ioniq 9 driver gets on the highway and then sees how long he can go without putting hands on the wheel. I'm going to leave that alone because I don't know if their system is hands on the wheel or not. LMR batteries, BMW X3 already looks like it's going to be a hit. An electric Hummer, Rivian, and Mercedes G-Wagon are driven until they died. I'd choose the loser anyway. Oh, there's our friend Kyle. The Lamborghini Tamario is a destroyer of windshields, and electric motors are to blame. The Lamborghini's new hybrid supercar is turning loose gravel into ammunition against drivers following too closely. Well, don't follow so closely, I guess. Also, maybe some mud flaps would be nice, Lamborghini. Just saying. This app makes EV charging more transparent and easier to understand. I think that's going to be similar to what we just saw with the pricing. Yep, ChargeWay Plus. So that's easy. Tesla Model Y 3-row. Tesla says its Model Y 3-row is supposed to be a great family hauler. It really isn't. A reviewer in China got his hands on the new 3-row Model Y. So it's going to be the Model Y L, I assume, because I don't believe they've reintroduced the 3-row regular Model Y, because it was a choice, to say the least. Atlanta man cracks open a brown bagged beatbox in a self-driving Waymo. Is it legal? Well, he's not driving, but you aren't supposed to have any open containers in a car in motion or on a public road or in the car, period, depending on how just strict the policeman wants to be at you. That could be interesting. Go ahead, Alan. You got a hand up there.
Just on the Model Y.
Yeah.
So my beloved model Dodge minivan.
Yeah.
Accepted in certain events wholeheartedly. So I got a local chop shop in East Toledo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's as ghetto as you can get, but really nice, good. We want to take a used Model Y and take it into a minivan.
Oh, nice.
And I think it's actually going to happen.
It could work.
Yeah,
and as long as you don't lengthen it or
widen it. We've been looking over the specs.
Yeah.
And Ohio's laws are so liberal. There was a guy in the Walmart, which used to be my home, the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
So he had an old Catalina or something. It was from the 80s, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. It was either a Buick or Pontiac. He cut off the roof. Well, because it's Jeep country and it's Ohio, and that's legal.
Yeah.
He cut off the doors. I wish I'd taken a picture. So that's legal because there's people running around in golf carts all over Toledo. I can't believe it. They run around Summit Street in the north end of Toledo all over the place. Anywhere there's golf carts everywhere. I mentioned the little scooters. The best thing Toledo ever did was hook up with them people because in any case, so the guy chops off his top, cuts off his doors, and then he paints it camouflage with a bunch of spray cans. You know what was illegal about his vehicle? The only thing? He had a cracked windshield.
Oh.
But Popo, and even in uptight German Oregon, they knew him like they know me, and it's like, okay, he's chill, it's fine, we'll let him go. But it's the funniest thing to see, back to the Model Y, where we're going to chop off the top, and we're very sincere in this. This is a 2-year passion project. We're just going by the model, the SUV specs, which are, to be a true minivan, you have to be able to put a 4x8 sheet of plywood in it. And that's the specs. I know. I actually know the guy who helped design it. I'm Metro Toledo and Metro Detroit. He said that's a spec. That was the spec.
Yeah, that makes sense.
4x8 sheet of plywood, and then we just build the van around it. And that's our whole goal with the Model Y.
That's what made it
4x8.
mini. That's what made it mini, because the regular van definitely could do that in a heartbeat. The full size vans.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
My van is a working truck. In fact, this is what's hilarious. In Michigan, my van was classified as a station wagon because it was the first one of its kind, other than the VW bus in the 60s. They did not know how to classify it. So they said, okay, it's a station wagon. It fits kids. It's a station wagon. Simple.
Yeah.
Ohio, because then I moved from Michigan to Ohio, they classified it as a truck. You want to know why?
Why?
Higher taxes.
Yes, of course. Why not?
I was working construction after 2008. After a couple of years in your mid-40s, you do not want to be a construction laborer, but I was. Good for the health, but hard on the body.
Right.
But it's a yin-yang type thing. But yeah, so I totally believe in the Dodge minivan, and I'll never give up on it.
There you go.
But I'm looking for a second vehicle, and it will be either a Slate or a Tesla. if it's a Tesla, it will be modified, and
Yeah,
I
that's
can
fine.
get away with it in Ohio.
Yeah. Yeah, if you get to use one of them, then there's deals to be had. Well, if you go new, I would definitely just stick with the slate on the outlay part of it, especially since it's already a truck with a bed.
Well, with the slate, I don't have to chop and cut off the
That's
roof
what I'm
and
saying. Yeah, it's already a truck.
build as you go. And I talked to Sandy Monroe in person about it at
Yeah.
our June Michigan event, and man, we couldn't stop talking about this whole slate thing.
Yeah.
But
I
with
hope
the
they make it.
Cybertruck, I think it'd be, or with the Model Y, and Dad having spent his career in owning body shops in Toledo, I think it'd be more fun.
Yeah.
And plus, it's a Tesla, and I'm in the community, so if you ever see me in a Tesla, but my fantasy is to buy a Model X. I'm so envious.
Yeah, I like
Is
the
that
Model
what
X.
you're going to drive? Are you going to drive your Model X
Yeah, I like the Model X.
to Chattanooga?
That's the plan. I mean, hopefully nothing
Oh,
happens to
good.
it.
Can I drive it? I drove it before. I drove the one out of Chattanooga. It was full self-driving. Can I drive yours?
I think so. Yeah, mine's old.
I'm fully insured.
That's good. That's good. All right. So next up, we talked about we talked about the headline of the brown bag beatbox guy drinking in the self-driving car. I don't know. I guess it's gonna depend on the jurisdiction. Then this person says it's like the new iPhones. Expert says he's disappointed in Tesla's latest model lineup changes. I would say that's a really good comparison as far as like how extensive they went with the latest changes. They lightly touched it. Orlando car salesman gets fired after being honest. He says that the Nissan Leaf is an unsellable car. That's a bit harsh, but I can see where he's coming from. It's a unique and special flower, but there are people who would want it. Send help. A woman says her husband talks to his Tesla like it's a real person, and it's not just him. So either these are people who are just really, really into cars and too much so, or this is a anti-Grok article. And we've seen folks who get into unhealthy relationships with AI, and either in terms of just unhealthy, just like wasting time with like a significant other type relationship with the AI, just saucing them, or that young kid who the AI helped him uh, commit a permanent act. We aren't equipped to defend against these sorts of things yet. Our systems weren't built for that. Our systems being like biologically, we just aren't. We don't have our guards up against this sort of thing. So is this? If that's what that is, then we'll click into it, see if it's a Grok article or not. But I can see that, and it's not healthy, but I can see it. From hidden gadgets to full-on game changers, a Richmond car dealer reveals wild features on EVs. Well, that's interesting. Let's see. Tesla revokes a man's full self-driving for 5 days after one too many strikes, and he still has to pay for it. Well, I mean, that is the contract. You rented self-driving for a month, a week, whatever, and you also said that you wouldn't get strikes. So when you get strikes, you still have the money that goes to them. All the EVs have been canceled or delayed in the U.S. this year. That's something to look at. I'm interested. I know there's going to be some Jeeps on the list, or Dodges and Rams. Nothing about this Hyundai Inster should impress you, but it does. Hyundai Inster. We've talked about this one before. I remember that brand name. It's weird. Extended range EVs may be a dead end, study says. They may be a dead end, but they are also a bridge. Because right now, with the way the charging is, they have a space in the market right now. Ford's Skunk Works affordable truck, compact crossover EVs, everything we know. Hey, there we go. Hopefully it's the Maverick EV from the Skunk Works projects. The goal has been achieved. Norway Shift EVs. Yeah, we talked about that one. Cadillac Optic heads to Europe with the smaller battery and slower DC charging. Well, that's competitive. Let's bring a lesser product to Europe where you can get a Chinese vehicle for less with more. Yeah, that's a smart move. Electrify America as real-time EV charging. Yeah, we talked about that. Americans are increasingly open to Chinese cars despite geopolitical tensions. I mean, have you seen the Chinese cars? They're pretty darn cool. Go fast, get nowhere. Here's how much speed kills EV range. A lot. It's a lot. But if you're on a track, it's fun.
Brian White did an awesome on-the-spot specials on Chinese cars.
He did. He sure did. And
he did. It was awesome.
Yeah. Inside Kia's plan to win affordable EVs. I'll skip that one for now, just because we'll see what becomes of it. Watch this sub $30,000 Slate truck survive one of the hottest places on Earth. We were just talking about this, right, Highlander? All right, so I'm going to open that for later, but I'm not going to do anything with it, just because it's a video article. Subaru will reveal an electric STI concept. Ooh, a concept. Let us know when it's on the way, please. Maserati slaps EVs with discounts. Maserati has EVs? Huh, that's cool. Big discounts enough to buy a new Tesla.
Does Chrysler/Stellantis still own Maserati?
I think they do.
Chrysler bought Maserati back in
the day. Yeah, way back in the day. I think they do. Yeah. I haven't heard any changes on it. This might be the biggest discount.
In any case, to stay on topic, I can't switch screens or I drop everything.
I understand.
Can you look up the Tesla supercharger, the Tesla charging network, and see if Oregon, Ohio, if the damn Myers thing finally went up line?
Yeah, sure.
Otherwise, I got to drive over there and check it out.
I'll switch over to supercharge.info in just a moment. Why Tesla and GM have cooler motors in different ways. That was a nice short little video over from Monroe. You got to cool them down, otherwise they damage themselves, or at least they become less performant. BMW is refining its future with the iX3, an interview. Screaming deals, Porsche Taycan 6-month owner review. Why the BMW iX3's kidney grill is such a big deal. Here are the EV winners and losers from before the tax credit died. Porsche Cayenne electric range test. All current and upcoming EVs with solid state batteries updated. We'll wait. Supercharge. Info. Did I spell it wrong? I probably did, because I was stretching on the keyboard there. Let's see. I sure did. I don't know what I typed wrong, but it was not right. Oregon, Ohio, right at the top of the list. Look at that. Change date, September 9th. Status. From construction to open.
Well, we know construction was March 1st because I was sleeping in the fucking parking lot.
Right.
Figures woke me up.
So
they say it's open now?
It says one accessible spot for next plugs, trailer friendly. Other EVs are okay.
It is. It's very trailer friendly. Yep. It
says 12
handicap friendly.
12 V4 dispensers. Let's click in it and see what speed it is, because I don't think it's a.
Yeah, but is it active? You pointed out to me that it looks like the most modern version, but it's like a Gen 3, Gen 4 type deal.
A V3 Plus, yeah.
Yeah, you pointed that out from all the pictures I sent you on your podcast here.
Yep. The host is Meyer. Parking is free at all times. Can you tell me more about it? Site links is Google Maps, PlugShare, OpenStreetMaps. The forums. Forums probably the one I want. Let's go to the Tesla site real quick, because that will show us.
I should have done my homework before I came on the show. But
it's all right. I was just surprised to see them at the top of the list, because it was always such a pain for me to find it last time, because they always wanted to take me to Oregon State.
Yeah.
Tesla wants to know your location. No, that's okay. They don't need to know where I am.
So is it online or not? Come on. Do I got to drive there? It take me 20 minutes.
If they wanted to know, they could just look at the car. Adapter required for all EVs. What? That's a weird way to put it. Anyway, it's an Axe adapter.
I'm like a 3-year-old who wants the ice cream. Cut to the chase.
I'm getting there. I clicked the button and I'm running down the screen.
All right. Okay, we're friends.
The icon.
You're checking out the info.
The icon is red.
This is so funny.
Yeah, the icon is red, which I think is a good thing.
You know more than I do, and I live 10 minutes away from the damn thing, and I'm the one who reports on it.
It's at 2339 North Curtis Road in Curtis, Ohio.
Yep.
43. Who's writing a letter to the supercharger?
They couldn't decide whether it was in Oregon or whether it was in Northwood.
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
They give it an Oregon name and a Curtis address. But then they give you the zip code, like you're going to write a letter to the supercharger.
No, I'm serious. It's like they can't decide whether it's in Oregon, Ohio, or Northwood, and it's a different county.
Yeah.
It's right on the county line, just like I literally live on the Michigan-Ohio border.
Right.
So my car's parked in Michigan, and my apartment's in Ohio. It's the same thing there, and they went back and forth. I think that was part of the problem, and they still battle with it because they want the tax money.
Right. So this one is interesting.
They're like, no, we're Northwood. No, you live in Wood County. No, we're in Locust County. And where I live, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hilarious. I can't make this stuff up, people.
So that actually is better than when we last looked at it. This is a V3++. It's a V3 Plus with the V4 dispenser at up to 325 kilowatts max. So if you have a Cybertruck or a non-Tesla that can charge faster than 250, you can actually use this thing. And it's available 24/7. Pricing for Tesla and members is 37 cents per kilowatt hour. And it'll say one
That's
price.
Not bad.
That's not bad, yeah.
That's
for public
fair.
charging.
You know better than I do, but
I don't.
Anything under 50 cents, isn't that good?
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Anything under 50 cents?
That's what I hear. Like I said, I don't know because Elon pays my charging.
You own the EV, I don't. So I'm just saying, in general, if you have to charge at the public charger, 50 cents or less, isn't that okay?
That's what I hear. So
what's the mark-off point where you, as an EV owner, you, Kacey Green, you're taking your Model X with the groupies.
Yeah.
And at what point do you say, no, they're charging me too much to charge at my Electron gas station?
If they charge me at all. But that's just because I'm spoiled.
Wow, you are spoiled. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Because I hear anything from 37 cents, and I keep on top, to $1.10.
Ooh, 37 doesn't sound.
Are you kidding me? $1.10?
Yeah, 37 doesn't sound.
How the hell
bad.
are you going to stay in business, asshole? Sorry to swear.
So pricing for non-Tesla, non-subscription owners is 51 cents per kilowatt hour at this site. So they're making a little bit of profit on it. And at the
No, I want to know what you feel. And you said zero.
So
I understand that. But seriously, if you're driving from an undisclosed location and the East Coast, however you guys put it, and you're going to Chattanooga and you have to stop, you're going to have to stop at least once or twice.
Right.
What do you consider a fair value at the Electron pump?
Well, for me, zero. But I don't know what the going rate is. And
you keep saying that, but it's not going to be zero.
But it will for me.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't tell me you're one of the early adopters who got the zero.
Yeah.
I own my Tesla and I get to charge for free life.
Yeah. Lifetime of my ownership of the car.
Oh my God. Can I buy that? I want to buy a Model X.
So mine is the lifetime of my ownership. So as soon as
does it transfer if you sell it to me?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, screw you!
But my Model S.
I didn't mean that.
My Model S.
Forget the deal.
My Model S though.
No, I met a guy who he has and I got the picture. He's got like a 1912 Model S.
Yeah.
And it came with free lifetime charging.
Yeah, my 2016.
I'll never leave this thing.
Yeah, my 2016 Model S was free charging for the life of the vehicle, not for the life of the owner. So as long as that one never goes back to Tesla.
Do you still own it?
I don't.
Can I buy it?
It's I've seen it running around town a couple times, but
you're not helping me here, brother.
I'm sorry.
Come on, help a brother out.
Yeah. There's a guy in England.
I got a little bit of coon in me.
Yeah, there's an England
genetic.
There was a guy in England who recently bought a Model S P90D, and he said the only reason he picked it over his other choice was because it had the lifetime charging, and he had to do like $6,000
And it
of work.
transferred over to him?
Oh yeah, because it was never totaled. It was just in bad shape, and so he had to do like $6,000 worth of work to it, tires, headlights. Yeah, but it was worth it. Yeah.
People don't realize what a bargain you can get on a used EV.
Exactly.
Because they're all worried. They're stuck in this thing of it's going to explode. It's going to cost me $1 million for the battery. Since you don't understand, even if the EV doesn't run, the battery's worth more than what you're going to pay for it.
That's right.
They just don't get it. They really don't.
That's true. They will eventually, but it'll be too late by then.
So I get to sit in your car and play with the flappy wings. I love
if they'll participate. Mine.
I want to have enough. I'm a very frugal person, but I want the flappy wings.
Yeah, I like the front doors being powered, but the wings on mine have been marginal since year 2. When it gets hot,
you've been quite frank about it.
Yeah. Yes. Oh yes. But I'll take my marginal flappy wing doors over my 6-door handles on my Model S.
Yeah. I feel like I should spoil myself in life and something because I'm very frugal. I wanted the flappy wings.
Yeah. I had a fun one yesterday.
In Chattanooga, they let me drive the brand new one, and it was the latest and greatest. I think it was hardware 4. I think it was the very first hardware 4.
Yeah.
I didn't care about the self-driving. I just kept and I'm like, stop before you get arrested. Don't be that guy.
Right.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah.
I just kept playing with the floppy wings. I love it.
Yeah. So for yesterday, I had an interesting one. The air conditioner was freezing out the evaporator, and so it kept turning off my air. That was no fun because it was a warmer fall day. Like it was cooler, but not where we were driving. The sun's coming in, and it's a black car, and got that helicopter windshield. So it's like, oh, this is getting warm.
Yep.
Yeah.
We get that right here. Cold in the morning, hot in the daytime. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And so then on one of her later errands, it was fine for a minute, and then it froze out the evaporator again. And then today it was blowing cold because I had it set lower than normal because I was trying to get it to at least turn the fan on. And so today when we went on her little run, it chilled us out a little bit. I had to turn it up a little bit, so it was fun. So this article, opinion piece, is saying Tesla's NACS plug should have fixed EV charging, but here's what we got instead. So let's see what their complaints are. EVs with Tesla-style ports are all the rage, but access to the supercharger network didn't really move the needle for me. Well, you must not drive as much as I do. It's Kevin. Okay, so I have to give this more credence, even though the title is sensational. He's generally a good writer. For years, it was assumed by many in the car industry that concerns about the charging network were the sole reason why Tesla was seeing such runaway success, after all. Tesla had successfully convinced its customers that its cars and charging network came with almost no compromises, that could be used just like gas vehicles, and if all EVs couldn't offer the same experience, they essentially were destined to fail. Well, I mean, they all joined up, didn't they? This is the kind of whole reason we got to switch en masse to Tesla's power plug, known as the NACS, with a few deals and handshakes a couple of years ago. And now virtually every EV brand has made the switch to the plug, with the goal of gaining access to Tesla's supercharger network. Charging could then be seamless everywhere, provided powered by a slimmer plug instead of a bulky CCS unit. Bulky and flawed. With CCS1, the pins could break, and then if you can't lock it to the car, it either becomes unsafe or doesn't work, depending on how bad that pin has failed. Unsafe being like if you can yank it.
What kind of break did you say?
The safety lock that holds the connector to the car.
Which manufacturer?
Just on CCS in general, the pin was vulnerable.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt.
And what would happen there is, with no pin, somebody could then yank the plug with it fully energized at 1,000 volts and however many amps you could do on CCS1 before we killed it. So let's call it at least 400 amps, 1,000 volts and at least 400 amps. That's That's a bad little bit of arc. I think that arc flash could injure somebody, if not be fatal.
Yes, Ledge says a career electrician.
Exactly.
Very arc flash. Yeah.
If it doesn't just blind you, it could kill you.
Everybody be safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, believe me. Yep. A safety note to anybody watches this after the fact. Be careful when changing out your battery, your car battery, or anything electrical.
Mm-hmm.
Use, well, not common sense. Just be very safety aware.
Yes. Yes, indeed. So everybody's on the supercharger network now. Charging could be seamless everywhere, provided powered by a similar plug. Finally, you wouldn't have to hear anyone say they'd never buy an EV until they could use the Tesla plug. Here you go. Every collective automaker has told consumers who were on the fence about buying an EV. We gave it a big award here at Inside EVs. And yet the initial crop of NACS-equipped cars make their way to the roads. We get our hands on them for more than just an afternoon drive. I don't know if the change was as dramatic as everyone insisted it would be. Well, it's not on Nissan because you have two different plugs on the Nissan Leaf. It has the J1772 for charging at home and in hotels and work, and then it has the NACS for charging on the road. Super weird. It's normal for anyone who's coming from an old Leaf, but you're looking for new customers. You don't really want to keep a weird quirk. It's really an inconvenience from the old car. A weird quirk from the old car that'd be kind of cool is like, oh, hey, look, the center console keeps your drinks cold. Okay, that's pretty cool. It's not as dramatic. In fact, it made things a bit harder. My first run-in with native NACS outside of Tesla came at a Kia EV6 facelift, not just a new plug. Kia went out of its way to make sure it's Tesla supercharger ready, moving the rear-mounted. Oh, they moved the port. I didn't realize they did that. That is awesome. And I said they should have done it. They moved the port from the passenger side to the driver's side like it is on a Model 3 or Model Y. Good on you, Kia. I didn't realize because the first one I saw that had the plug, I guess it was like a factory car or something. It wasn't produced. It had it on the wrong side. I had the EV6 presser delivered from Detroit to Ohio. Yeah? Go to the park. Who said anything about going to the park? We'll go to the park. I got homework to do. You want to go there? Let me finish this and then I'll look because I haven't done any homework this weekend. I drove your mom around for 6 hours yesterday.
Were you talking to your wife?
I was talking to Moto.
Is she getting that old now?
Yeah, she's
my goodness.
Bust out of the blue with her mom's phone, showing me a park.
They grow up so fast, dude.
They do.
She's gonna take away your job. You're gonna be like me, old. You'll be sitting in your chair, sucking on one of them Southern iced tea type.
I can't even do that. There's too much sugar in them.
Down south. And you're gonna have your 4-year-old running the damn show.
Yes. 45 minutes before the EV was to show up at his door, he got a call. The driver of the EV6 got nervous. 30 miles away from his house, was asking if he knew a place where he could charge at 21%. The supercharger, duh. I understand lack of range would cause trepidation for a fleet driver. After a short conversation, I ascertained that either Kia or the fleet company itself had only given him a NACS to J1772 charging adapter. Okay. That would allow him to plug the EV6 in on a slower level 2 charger, but need a different adapter to use non-Tesla DC fast charger. He didn't have one. Why didn't he use the Tesla DC fast charger? Is there none in your area? Did I skip that paragraph? Where I live, as I usually do, I ask the fleet driver not to recharge it during the trip so I could do my own 10 to 80% test later. I'm still not understanding what that weird adapter has to do with anything. There was a Tesla supercharging station somewhere on his journey, but he had no Tesla app account. Oh, okay. And would have needed to pay with a special corporate card that wasn't set up for Tesla supercharging. Well, that sounds like the fleet company really dropped the ball there, and that's not a Tesla problem. I mean, the worst case is he could pay out of pocket and fight for that reimbursement, which would suck, but it's not an impossibility. I told him take it slow and continue to drive.
Yeah, if your budget's tight, that's kind of carrying it a little bit too far in my mind.
And the company should have had a way for him to refuel this vehicle up. And the company dropped the ball there. I'm just saying that he wasn't actually stranded, unless there's like a prohibition for using personal funds and trying to get reimbursed. I mean, there's electricity.
Has Moto ever been fishing?
No, she hasn't.
I'm just thinking because you're bringing the kids. Sorry to go off topic, but I got to leave in a couple minutes. I'm hungry. And I'm just thinking, all right, what can I do? I want you to have a good family-friendly experience.
Yeah.
I know the lay of the land. So does Brian. They got the river, Simon Pollock. I hope Simon's going to be there. I'm just thinking, young kids, my family, we were all raised with the fishing pole. Maybe Moto would want to go fishing. I'm just trying to think of what things we could do to make it a family-friendly. Notice I changed your headline, by the way.
Yeah.
Your tagline.
Yeah.
A family-friendly event for you guys to go, yeah, we had a good time or not. Quite frankly, Chattanooga is nothing. Michigan is everything. I want you to go to Michigan. Okay. Skip Chattanooga.
I enjoyed my time in Michigan. It was cold, but it was fun. So he was locked out.
No, not in the summer. Not in the summer.
No, but I only went in the wintertime.
Because now I'm back in the flush and I work every penny of overtime I can.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm going to have the only heated air conditioned freaking 10 by 10 Kenter is, and I got my I already bought it. I got it off Amazon. My submarine klaxon sound. Oh, dude. And I'm going to have a tent that says Kacey and another one. It's going to say Gruber Motors.
There you go.
So if you were able to make it we'll talk later.
Okay. I'm not seeing his problem. I mean, I see the whole article, but I'm not seeing his problem. Like everything he mentioned is like teething. Let's see what the comments say. Nobody actually thought the Tesla plug would fix everything with EV charging. Everybody thought it would improve EV charging, and it has. Yeah, I agree with that. Tesla plug is a downgrade. I don't agree with that. Half of this article is just highlighting that people will be confused switching from what they're already used to. If that's the point of switching to one standard, yes. We're at year 0 of the switch. Sure, some people's Apple users would have preferred sticking to the phone cable they were used to, but years pass and people acclimate. Yeah, like everybody will eventually be glad that we have USB-C instead of Lightning or the 40-pin dock connector. Not when that standard is slower, with pathetically short cables and inadequate cooling. What? On the public chargers, they some of them are shorter cables, but they're all liquid-cooled cables, and the V4s are the long cables stalls. Better off in the short and medium term. Switching to NACS makes absolutely zero difference in my current ownership with CCS. Okay, whatever. Disagree. Supercharger locations have made the trips I take feasible, which makes it more convenient. There are 300 to 400 mile round trips on the East Coast that I dreaded when I was on Electrify America, since they required me to drive 20 plus minutes out of the way just to charge. Now with superchargers, charging is right along the highway, and EV driving is finally as convenient as when I had a Tesla. There you go. It's convenient as a Tesla if the cable reaches the port. Well, then don't complain if you know that your car has a weird port location. Get you a solution. If the cable, and by the way, like I said, Germany has already finished their swap to long cable Tesla superchargers. So all this complaining is temporary. Complaining about short charger cable. I remember people saying negative attitudes about
Toledo needs that.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but Toledo at the Myers, we were one of the very first adopters and mass franchises to hook up with Tesla. They need to show a little love and attention to this puppy. I mean, this is where I live. This is my home spot. The Myers on the Lexus Road, it needs a little more attention. And quite frankly, she's older in the game and they need to update it.
Yeah.
Great that they finally got, oh my God, Oregon on live. But somebody out there is going to listen to this because they watch after the fact.
Yeah.
And I'm going to jump on my other bandwagons and I'm going to not bitch, but politely suggest, look at not just sending the tech out and making sure all the cables are right. I already do that on a almost daily basis. There are 4 charging stations I check regularly coming home from work. But they need to seriously, it's right off I-75. I've met a couple of prominent YouTubers who, that's where you charge. When you're coming from Canada or from Michigan, and a lot of them do, that's the destination spot. It really is. You'd think they'd step it up. Now they got to go out of their way. They got to go from I-75 to 28. I know the whole route. No, they need to. This is a destination spot. That's why the truck stops are there. They really need to get their act together and upgrade it.
Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting.
It's all right. So the problem with PHEVs the article was talking about is that people don't plug them in. This first electric pickup truck article is about the Chevy S10 electric. So I definitely want to get this over to Patrick, but my email application had closed itself, so I will deal with that later. Let's see. They don't know the facts. Tesla driver says it's the worst part of owning an EV. Don't have anything to do with the vehicle itself. You might see people online. Your family, even coworkers, talk about Tesla like they own one. Why is that bad? Yeah, because they don't know what they're talking about. That's the problem. Like my sister's like, oh, you can't take long trips. I'm like, yeah, I just magicked myself, 2,000 miles from home with the car. Okay, but the first tell you how long the battery lasts.
Education is definitely the key.
Yeah.
And every YouTuber, small or large, we all play a part. It's education. That's why I'm so strong into the STEM, especially the middle schoolers.
Yeah. Okay, so that one was actually a TikTok
education.
Article. It is, yeah. Yeah, and that one was a TikTok article. Let's see what else they had real quick. So the Atlanta man cracks open a brown bag beatbox in a self-driving Waymo. Is it legal? That's a good question. Waymo lets you pregame and doesn't complain about it. I mean, I don't. He's not driving, and he can't drive. I don't. And it's not like it's a taxi cab where you could say, oh, the driver could have just handed that to you. The robot handed me a beer. Yeah, that's right. I'm curious. Uploaded video showed him gripping one of the boxed boozy beverages in Waymo. It should be noted that he doesn't film himself actually taking a sip of the beatbox. However, he does appear to stand by his decision to enjoy a beverage while cruising in the back of a driverless vehicle. He writes in a caption appended to the clip, "Just let me live my life and get me to the location, please." The one exception I can see to this is if in the Waymo you're still expected to be pushing the emergency stop button. I know you have the request to stop button, but I don't think that you have an emergency stop button like the safety driver on the robotaxi has. Georgia open container laws, according to the post by Georgia law firm. We don't know where the guy was doing. Georgia has having an open bottle of booze within reach of a driver can be a serious offense in the Peach State, though the same law indicates that this isn't considered a misdemeanor or a felony, but rather a traffic infraction, punishable by a fine of up to $200. The driver doesn't have hands, being a robot, right? So it's legal in Georgia. The law in Georgia.
That is a very interesting question, Casey. I mean, you've got an autonomous vehicle, let's say, and it doesn't have to be a Tesla because there are others doing, about to be there.
Yeah.
So if you're drinking a beer, but in some states under the law, you have to be required to take over. That's what's the tricky thing to me.
Right, that part.
And I'm sure to everybody in the industry. Can the human take over? That's why I think a lot of the conservative ones are going to still leave the steering wheel and leave controls in the car where you can take over. Yes, you have 100% autonomy.
Yeah.
It's a full robot. But all the hardware's there and all the costs.
Yeah.
All the cost for a human.
But what about a car
so what happens when
that's not yours? You're in a robotaxi of some sort, like this Waymo. That changes it.
Yeah, I mean, there's wow, and the legislators, let's face it, they're not up to task, and there's
Most of
money
them, no.
involved
Yeah.
against it, and that is, well, you could do your next show on that alone.
I think we could. I'm going to see if Mark wants to touch this one because I think that'd be a fun discussion to have between the three of us. Exceptions to the rules.
And next time, I'm going to invite friends.
Yeah, do it.
As we well learned, once in a while, one of my quote friends, they're not the best guests.
It happens. It happens.
I'll just throw, if they get out of hand like the one guy did, I'll throw. You're far more politer than I am. That's why I make a great co-host. I'm a bulldog. I just throw them out.
Yeah. Yeah, this is what I'm going to save. I really want to have a discussion on this one. That's interesting. So then we talked about the lady who said her husband disappeared to the car. Is it Grok or is he just like a weird car nut? Modern technology, especially AI, is reshaping the way people relate to machines. Ooh, I called it. The line between driver and car used to be made of metal and glass. A viral TikTok clip: Tesla owner chats with his car about home audio systems as if they're old friends. Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, so this is exactly what I said earlier about us not having mental defenses against this slot machine that is AI. TikToker Hannah Gamble shows a mix of humor and concern at the recent clip from a drive in their Tesla, where her husband asked the car's central computer for advice on beefing up the home audiovisual setup. Does anyone else's husband talk to their Tesla like it's a real person or their bestie? Is the query she's made to viewers in a text overlaying the video that's been viewed by more than 4,700 times. This phenomenon might seem like a charming quirk, but it captures some something profound about how modern technology, especially AI, is reshaping the way people relate to machines. What used to be clear in the line between human and tool has blurred. And some systems like ChatGPT, the Amazon device, Siri, the Apple device, and sorry guys if I triggered your freaking machine, and the Tesla's in-car assistant grow more responsive. That blurring is happening more frequently and more intimately. Okay, so yeah, that's I kind of touched on this one already, but oof. Hidden gems, full on game changers is what? Richmond dealer reveals wild features on new EVs. Rivian R1S, you got the flashlight, Tesla Model Y performance, you got software, RAV4 Prime. It's not an electric vehicle. It's a plug-in hybrid. Okay, I'm gonna skip it. X. Saw Tesla Model X. Gotta. Towards the end of the TikTok video, saleswoman shows off perks of the Model X while standing in front of the large EV with its Falcon wing doors. Gold wing doors only have one hinge. She shows a key fob shortcut on how to have them close simultaneously. Hey, I do like that. I do that all the time. You have an option that you can have one button close. You click it and it will close all the doors. You can see here all the doors are open. If you hit this top button 3 times on your key, you just push it one time. I don't know where the 3 times thing came from. 3 times would be to open both front doors, typically. Unless there was just a model year where they flipped it for some reason, but I've never been in one where they changed it. So I don't know where this 3 times thing comes from. It's 2 times to unlock a door, 2 times to unlock the passenger door and open it, and then 2 times on either wing door to open it. Same for the front trunk and back trunk, and then a single tap on the roof if the option's turned on to close and lock everything. Anyway, of course, it's difficult for anyone to include all the surprises that come with these vehicles in the 59-second post. All right, so interesting. All the EVs have been canceled or delayed in the US this year. Let's zoom through that real quick. We've got the Acura ZDX. That one actually came out and was on sale. It got canceled. The Dodge Charger Daytona Fresonius EV. I'll never give them an inch for giving that name like 20 different nostalgic names. Anyway, the RT has been postponed to 2026, probably canceled. The Banshee has been canceled. Oh, that's unfortunate. The next generation full-size pickup for Ford has been delayed. Okay. The next generation electric van is delayed to 2028. Interesting. These delays are not cancellations, by the way. The Genesis electrified G80 discontinued in 2025 year. That makes sense because it was a Chinese special they brought over just to get their volume up. The Land Rover Range Rover EV.
Hey, Kacey?
Yeah.
This isn't why I had my hand up, but it was for a different topic.
What you got?
The Jeep program.
Yeah.
They're going undercover. I live next to it. Trust me on this.
Okay.
They're doubling down on it.
All right. They need to.
That's all I got to say.
Because they got that plug-in that was recalled, and that was about it.
Jeep is not giving up on the electric vehicle, but the Jeep and Dodge,
yeah,
they're doubling down. Jeep is doubling down on all electric, and Dodge trucks are doubling down on their extended range.
Okay.
You know, where you fire up an engine to power the batteries. You can trust me or not, but when you talk to a guy at the bar that's on the line, that's pretty fucking solid.
The Jeep.
Second thing is, I gotta go, but
Jeep is a good candidate for that.
Memory. I can't remember.
Going off road and
go
ahead.
I know what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
If it's okay with you, it says let's chat with Kacey and Friends.
Yeah.
Could you put with Highlander as co-host? Because I'll be here next weekend, and I'm going to invite everybody I can because I believe in it. Okay. Oh, yeah. The one last thing before my little reptile brain forgets. How can I send you money and be on the sponsor list?
You can do the YouTube, or you can do on X. So you can just click on a link there, and there's Coffee, there's Patreon, there's all of them. Whatever's comfortable for you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. No, I want to be on the sponsor list.
Yeah. The one at the end of the show would be the
20 years.
Yeah. So the one at the end of the show, just sign up for any of those regulars, and I'll put you on there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can you send me a link and make it easy for me?
Yeah. Well, what's
the money I have? Everything else gets complicated. Send me a link, and I'll send you money.
What platform do you want to use? Do you want to use the YouTube members, or do you want to do one of the other programs?
I don't know. I was in default for all of them, and now I'm paying them all back.
Yeah.
Which is the easiest for you? Somebody just... So I got these things for like 4 or 5 times in a row.
Yeah.
Emails from X saying you owe $88. You owe $88.
That's a weird number for them.
Somebody paid $800 for my fucking subscription, and I'll send you the screenshot.
Wow, nice.
They said, we value your content. And the account vanished, but the money's there.
Cool. Wow.
That's what I thought. Yeah. I ain't asking questions. I don't want to know nothing.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll send you a link to the YouTube one just because it's easiest to keep track of and deal with the stuff.
Whatever's easiest, just send me a link.
Okay.
I type in the credit card number and then the little 3-digit thing. But
the
one thing I really don't like about any YouTube or anything is they say, great, you can be a subscription. We'll put your name up there.
Yeah.
And it flashes by so fast, you never even... Because sometimes you want to know actually who are the... PBS is a great example.
Yeah.
You know, or anything. And it's like...
You know, I need to make
money. Can't you leave it up there long enough for people to see who's paying?
I need to make a page on the website so you can just kind of scroll through and see that. I'm going to do that. Let me...
yours is good about it. You leave them up a little longer, and the other one, Autoline Daily. I'm in touch with them all the time. I'm hoping to have lunch with Sean, and I never talked to his dad, even though I have his private email.
Yeah, John's cool.
But I talked to Sean of Autoline Daily.
Yeah.
Why? I don't want to talk to the guy who's on the microphone. I want to talk to the producer, the moderator.
Yeah.
The guy who actually runs the things.
Mm. Yeah.
So how much do you charge?
There's a bunch of options, and then you can put what you want, and then if those don't work, you can do a.
I asked you a question. How much money, son?
I think it starts at like $1 or $3, and then goes up to 100. But don't do the 100 one.
100? Are you kidding me?
They gave me the option. They gave me the option of what do you want to put in the box. So I put a range. I said $3 or $1, whatever it was, and then I just put.
I can buy third world countries for $100.
That's why I said don't do that one. But they
I'm just keeping it real.
yeah no they
I'm thinking like $3 to $5 a month.
yeah they have that that's what most people do. But they
Dave, no, it's you. It's
yeah.
you, brother. It's you.
No, I have it. Yeah, that's they said what do you want, and here's the range, and I said okay, all of it. And so then they did all of it.
Fair. That is very fair. I'm gonna meet you in real life.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
$100. Oh my god.
No, don't do.
I know people say kill people for 100.
Right.
So reasonably, like you've got like 3 or 4 people up on your thing.
Yeah.
So for me to get up on there and for you to extend it by 1 to 2 seconds, because
yeah,
YouTube's probably charging you. You know, nobody does nothing for free.
You know
they're charging you. Extended by how many seconds and how much within a reasonable amount of money?
No, I mean like literally. I'm gonna give you the link, and then you can pick which one you like, because there's a number of options.
The link.
And like I said,
oh my god, $100.
No, don't do that one. I'm gonna send you the link.
It's coming out of your children's
right.
bank account, so that's gonna give them.
So pick the one you like, and then
I'm gonna give them special T-shirts.
Right.
You're taking food out of your own children's mouth. You really are. This is a recorded space. People are gonna come back at this and laugh because I'm gonna bring it up. I will.
No, literally, just pick the one you like from the menu. And what I'm going to do is I need to remember as I put your name on the list, I need to make a not make a website, but make a web page that's got everybody's on it, because I think that would be worth it and fair, because some of these guys have been there for a long time.
Blunt.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm doing a deal with a major T-shirt manufacturer. He doesn't make the T-shirts, but he's the biggest in Toledo.
Yeah.
I know him. He knows I lived in the homeless shelter. He's seen my last paycheck. He's like, oh my God. I said, yeah, well, I'm a factory electrician. That's my life.
Yeah.
And so I'm making the big push, and I'll be blunt. You're going to be one of the channels.
Thank you.
And by my boosting your channel through the max, everything I can do, we're going to push my T-shirts.
That's right. We will.
Does that sound friendly and fair?
That sounds fair. Yeah.
I got the same deal with Gruber, and he's down to one guy.
Yeah.
That's me.
There you go.
He had 5 freaking YouTube channels. He's down to 1.
Oh, wow.
And there's only 1 non-Gruber employee who's there, or family and friends.
Yeah.
That's me. And I'm his freaking sponsor. I send them guys hundreds of dollars worth of donuts every couple of months.
There you go.
Living out of my freaking van.
Yeah.
I sent him $150 worth of donuts.
Nice.
And Pete knows it. I've talked to Pete on the phone.
Yeah. Definitely.
So with that, I'm so hungry. I'm grateful and
thank you.
Humbled and blessed.
Yes.
That I've met friends like you.
Thank you.
Really.
Yeah.
And I think that's why you have a great space that's going to grow.
Yeah.
You grow, I grow. My phrase is kindness is always free.
Yes.
Let's do it. And I'm looking forward to seeing the babies, and I got to figure out what to get them. This is going to be on my mind for weeks and months.
Yeah. And then I
God bless and Highlander out.
Highlander out. I also need to end the show because I need to figure out why Moto is summoning me. So I will thank everybody for coming in today.
Yeah, best to look after the new owner of the family company.
Exactly. I want to thank all of our channel members and future channel member there with Highlander, and I want to thank all of you guys for giving me your time today, and us chatting about the green life and all of my tangents, and we will catch you on the flip side. Talk to you soon.